Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first ever RBLR Lightning live stream. We're going to be watching the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the New York Rangers. As always, my name is Jake Ricker. Alongside me with me live is Matt Gannon and Joe Zamataro. Guys, welcome to our first ever live stream. How are we feeling today?
Ready to go, man. Ready to go. We're figuring this thing out live as we're doing it, so it's definitely something that's different. Looking forward to it, though.
Welcome everybody who's joining us in the live stream, and guys, feel free, send some comments in, let us know. We want to see what you're saying, what you're thinking throughout this game. Already underway here too, with the game going. So let's get into it.
Yeah, just a second or two here. I'll have the bug up so we can do an actual follow along with the same time as anyone that's out there. Just be another couple moments, but we're right about 17:24.
Lightning just had a really good chance too. I think it was Paul who almost scored on Quick, was like flopping around like a pancake out there, and he somehow was able to keep that puck out of the net. I'm not quite sure how.
I was curious, Quick starting. I think they had they played yesterday, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of talk about Quick taking over the net in New York.
Yeah, they played the day. It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. They played Colorado. They won that game 2-1 in overtime. I think it's funny. I think they said that the coach said Shesterkin's our guy, but they were giving him a rest. But you know what's funny, Matt? I was told that Igor Shesterkin was better than Andrei Vasilevsky, but yet I'm hearing about how Quick might be taking over the net over here in New York. So I don't know what's up with that.
To be fair, early in the season, there was a lot of maybe Jonas Johansson can take over Vazzy's job for a quick second.
Hey, speaking of that, they interviewed Cooper on TNT just before the game started. It was a terrible interview. I'm sorry, but it was bad. And one of them asked Cooper, they said, was it almost a blessing in disguise that you didn't play with Andrei Vasilevsky for the first 25 games, which is one of the most ridiculous questions ever heard. Cooper answered it perfectly and just said, no. Absolutely not. Mastine's the guy. I mean, I don't know where that question's coming from, but they asked about that. They then followed it up with like, oh, did you change the way you played at all? Cooper also made a joke out of that and just said, no, panic, which was hilarious. But they were talking about it.
Well, I think I got our little bit of a time bug that's above my head now.
I see that, but my stream quality has gone down. So shout out YouTube.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, it's something that we're trying out for the first time, so it'll probably go up, go down, and at least we got something on.
Let's see if I can get it. Oop. And as I do that, I lose the stream.
Hey, well, I don't have anything with TNT anyways, so this is about as good of a stream as that I'd be able to get.
Now that's better quality too.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. Good job.
Now, if I could just get that thing to go away on the bottom, that'd be great.
I mean, it's all good for us. Not a big deal.
Michael told me this, and he'll be joining us later during the first intermission. Can you guys guess what the Lightning's record is in their last 7 games against the New York Rangers?
Last 7?
Last 7 in regulation, not including playoffs.
In regulation. So I think that I know that they lost.
Or I should say, sorry, regulation. I said regular season.
Regular season. I'm gonna go. What do you say? Last 7. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Matt?
5-2.
5-2. You're both wrong. It's 1-5-1.
Oh.
Yeah, not pretty. Lightning with another chance there too. And Quick, man, that guy, I don't know. He seems like he's been revitalized a little bit this year, making some nice saves. He was really good early and then kind of tailed back off, but I like the pressure from the Lightning.
I remember New Year's, I think it was it last year? Maybe it was actually the year before. It was a game that went to OT as well. They definitely have a lot of games that they've done that with the Rangers. I didn't realize it was that many.
They've had a couple. All right, what are they showing? Oh, Cooch took a spill?
Oh, he's coming off gingerly, too.
Cannot have that. That is a worst case scenario. Stayed on the ice, though.
He's on the bench, so he's fine. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, he looks to be okay, but that's scary. Kucherov is the last guy that we need dealing with an injury right now. I guess better for it to happen now than later. Knock on wood.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think anyone wants. This is so
Oh
late
no,
in the
don't want it.
season.
Period. Yeah,
Yeah.
would not be good. We got Sergachev and Cernak back tonight for the first time, which is nice. I know
And
some people are
DeHaan's
worried
the
about
odd
the
man
mojo.
out.
He is. He's the one out. And then Janot's still not back in. He was just moved to LTIR technically, so Sergachev could come back, but he's expected back on this road trip as well.
Gino was
Ooh.
moved on to LTIR?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't really understand. I thought once
Yeah.
you're on LTIR, you have to be out for a certain amount of time, but that's what they
I
said.
think that with LTIR it could be post dated if they missed those games.
Okay,
I
that
could
would
be
make sense
mistaken.
then.
Yeah.
Because he's expected back on this road trip, but I know they said that he moved into LTIR so they could get Sergachev back. Because once Janot comes back, they got to send a lot of the rookies that they have up down, like Shafee, who I believe is playing today too. I don't know why.
That worked. That worked. The way that they all get back, having 4 guys back all at once is definitely is a good way to defend the middle to prevent the Rangers or any other team from getting in deep with numbers. But man, if you can I still maintain if you can get in like on the strong side and feed that puck to the weak side with this system, it's tough for the Lightning to defend against that.
Yeah, well, hey, out shooting the Rangers right now is at 5-2, not too shabby. Granted, it is early, so a lot of hockey left to be played, but Lightning have a chance too to catch some nice ground because the Panthers lost, the Leafs lost, a whole bunch of teams lost that are sitting in front of them right now.
So I don't know if you guys have the chat pulled up from YouTube. One of my buddies, a good guy, actually just posted that yes, it is indeed a post-dated thing that you can do with LTIR. Oh, look at that!
Oh yeah, it popped up right there in the stream. There it is.
There you go.
It was post-dated. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw that, I actually didn't see originally that they all I saw was that Janot was moved to LTIR, and I'm like thinking, oh no, what happened to Janot? I thought he was coming back. Turns out it was just a paper transaction to get Sergachev back, but it gave me a little bit of a scare there for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying that he was coming back during this road trip. It'd be horrible to have a sudden, I don't know, like to move backwards in terms of his recovery time, but really, the guys have been playing okay without him. I would much rather have him in, especially because I think that it frees up Esamont to be even more of a scoundrel and a hound out there.
Oh,
no
yeah,
one wants
absolutely.
to answer for Janot. Oh, that was a beautiful screen.
Nice shot from Perbix, too. Just missed it. Well, we'll see if they can get on the board early here. Lightning were not favorites in this game, which, they are on the road, which makes sense. Henrik Lundqvist in the building.
Still looks like a king, doesn't he?
He does. Would really love to see the Lightning get on the board early here, especially in New York, and just silence that crowd.
It is a tough crowd at MSG. It's one of the loudest buildings in the league, across sports even. It's the few things I'll give Rangers fans is they're loud.
I saw somebody tweet when they said that Quick was starting saying, well, at least there's going to be no Igor chance tonight. I think DraftKings has the odds at -110, -120.
Oh, that's a good chance. I mean, they are getting some sustained zone time.
I like what I've seen early. I mean, nothing, only about 8 minutes into the game, but decent chances, and they're keeping them alive. We got a comment here.
Save by Vasi there was one of the easiest
From
of this
Caitlin,
season.
MSG is an overrated subway terminal. It was stinky. I have personally never been to Madison Square Garden, but I would love to go. That is one of those iconic stadiums.
It's a bucket list place, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you ever want to do like one of those people that try to get as many venues in as possible. You kind of have to go. Overrated subway terminal.
I love it. That's great.
Brutal, girly, brutal.
No mercy here in the RBR Lightning watch party.
Same could be said for TD Garden.
For different reasons. Is that one that the fans make it disgusting?
No, but it is just literally I guess it's not a subway terminal. It's just a train terminal. It's above ground.
Kucherov, man, he just is so nonchalant when he's out there on the ice, which, he showed off exactly that in the All-Star game. But it is amazing to me the way he's able to see this game. It's almost like he slows down so he can slow down the rest of the game.
Well, I mean, it's one thing when you're skating to be able to see open parts of the ice and get to it. It's a whole nother thing when you're skating to see a player and know that you can manipulate him to make the part of the ice that you're going to be in open. And that's what he's so good at.
Oh, Vasi, don't do that.
Vasi coming out, man. That's definitely a
he committed
moment.
Yep. We've seen that before.
In terms of injuries, that's the one that you definitely can't have.
When you're just running into somebody and the risk of that. Well, and that happens off a block shot. There was a block shot at the point. And those are so dangerous just because if it gets blocked, there's nobody back to help you. But nice play by Vasi. Speaking of Barclay Goodrow, did you see Jay Fresh put out his card in the advanced analytics community? It's not pretty. He's having a rough year.
Rangers fans are not happy with the contract Chris Drury gave him. I was a little, baffled by it as well. At least we got a seventh out of it, and not losing him for nothing. But I'm really glad we're not tied to that deal. A good player, a very serviceable player, but I don't know if he should be making $4.5 million or whatever he's making.
Hey, he won us helped us win 2 Stanley Cups, so he can have that contract in New York.
That's true. Oof. See, that's almost the exact play I'm talking about. The guy goes from the strong side, goes behind the net, and then feeds it to his guy that's ends up being on what's the weak side. And man, that play has burnt us so many times. And it almost did there. We got a guy in a lane to make a block, but those plays worry me. Oh,
nice shot by Point, but a good glove save from Quick.
It was a heck of a pass by Hetty too.
It's even with that, they gave up that one chance, but I feel like overall they've looked decent. They're getting some couple offensive chances here and there, and they haven't given up too many bad defensive moves. So,
well, I mean, again, we've said how many times that they tend to take slow starts after coming back from All-Star break or Christmas break, and definitely be good to have them playing well.
Oh, well, over halfway. They mentioned on the TNT broadcast that Coop has the TNT or has the TV timeout coming. I don't know what they meant by that. Like Cooper was going to call a TV timeout. I don't know why they said that.
Nice.
Again, want to thank everybody too that's joining us here live for our first ever live stream watch along party. So if you guys got any comments, let us know. Throw them down there in the in the comment section. We'll see them. We'll talk about it. We're going to have some fun today. I have a couple of guest people coming on later as well during the first intermission, so it should be some fun. Let's do this. We had a comment earlier about Madison Square Garden. If anybody in here, give me your favorite Lightning Rangers memory.
Andre Palat last second.
That's classic.
What was that, game 4? Game 3? That's an easy one.
Oh, there's another good. We'll touch on that in a minute here, Dan. I'd say my favorite was a home game sometime in December of like 2006, where Dan Boyle got a hat trick against the Rangers. That was pretty neat to see because it's definitely not something that you would expect or plan on.
I got to be honest.
Bet for, I guess.
That last 3-2 shootout win I think it was 3-2. The shootout win the Lightning had over the Rangers. That was a really, really fun game with a lot of back and forth action. I believe the 3-on-3 overtime was a ton of fun. Big saves on both ends. I really enjoyed that game, especially because it came in with the Lightning win. And then Matt, Joe, your buddy asked a question, correct, about Dream City for NHL expansion?
For NHL expansion.
Well, I know there's a lot of talk about Atlanta right now, and apparently they're getting another shot at an NHL franchise, which is interesting.
Atlanta would be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I just hope that, the third time's a charm. I like that it'd be close and, have somewhere where, realistically, if you're a Lightning fan, the only place that you're driving to is going to be Sunrise. That's, straight from Tampa to jump on. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's straight from Tampa. You just take 75 for about 6-7 hours. That's doable.
Not terrible.
Yeah, Atlanta was. It's always been kind of my favorite. I had a lot of family in the Atlanta area, so it's kind of a close place. It's my second home almost. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of buzz around Utah as well recently for Salt Lake City. I know the Jazz owner is really jazzing to get an NHL team in there. He's asked Gary Bettman for to let's get this expansion process underway again. Like he's really itching for it. I think it's a pretty cool unique location that's not so in the desert or south or something.
On that note, have you heard the rumors that might not be an expansion team coming, but might be where Arizona is going? Makes sense. There's a lot of money there, and there's a lot cooler of weather. How many people go skiing compared to people in Arizona?
True.
I definitely am not somebody that believes that hockey markets are exclusively cold weather markets, but when you're struggling as much as Arizona has.
Ooh, 2-on-1.
Oh, almost got that follow-up shot.
What about Kansas
City? This line's
City?
been playing well.
We got a comment here from Instagram as well. What do you think about the Stammer contract situation? Oh, boy. I know you guys have your, not as...
That's a commercial break question.
Yeah, let's hold it. We'll be coming to a TV timeout here soon.
That's probably actually a good point. There's a lot of thoughts I have on that situation.
Yeah. It is always a good question, though.
Here, $1.5 billion is the new rumored expansion fee. Doubt the league does a relocation to a city. $1.5 billion, man, that is crazy, especially considering what it used to be back in the day.
No, I think it's just one bill, which is still an enormous amount of money. But because I don't think Seattle paid a bill. I think they were $500. I could be totally wrong. It could be Vegas that paid $500, but
yeah, but those were like 2020 prices, bro.
Inflation, man.
Go!
Speaking of Stamkos, nearly had a chance there to pull the puck away. I know he hasn't been great 5-on-5 this year, but I still feel like he's played well. He's scoring on the power play, which take what you can get.
I'm not gonna lie. This is if it gets too intense, then I'm not gonna be able to hold my tongue for this for this podcast. Or for this,
I'm gonna try my best.
When there's a goal, we'll get it figured out.
We're all adults, Eureka says.
Yeah, shots are starting to even out here a little bit. I gotta say, I do kind of like these Rangers jerseys. Are these their alternates?
Yeah, I want to say they're their third jerseys. I don't know. They have a couple of different jerseys. I know they just came out with their Stadium Series jerseys as well. That they were pretty cool. They looked like a Stadium Series jersey. Very bold. They kind of pop out at you. Them and the Devils jerseys were pretty good.
Oh.
Cool. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I gotta say that was an incredible pass to actually see him and hit him coming up the middle there, because you could easily have headmanned that to a guy that was standing on the blue line, and they would have been face to face with the defenseman by passing it to Kuch. Was that Kuch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kuch that got the shot off. Yeah, so by passing it to him, more towards center ice, it definitely made it so that he had more room to work with, and it pushed the defenseman back to generate that chance. And hey, anytime you guys don't see the bug above me, let me know. I'll pop it back up. I'm trying to turn it off if there's commercials.
Crazy how it's just at a fast pace. Able to dance through 3 defenders and got a great shot off, bring it right off the post. That would have been a sweet highlight reel goal.
Yeah, it really was, because he got the puck further back. They had to retime the zone entry, and then now you're kind of stuck backpedaling, and
this game has really opened up here.
Momentum.
Fasty, couple nice saves.
Definitely a good game to have on to watch.
These Rangers games always get my blood pumping for better or for worse, either with rage or with hype. But they're never boring games. They're always games that glue you to the TV.
And the Rangers have been pushing here late, but
big save through traffic.
Defense holding strong.
There we go.
All right, hitting another commercial break here. So, again, want to welcome everybody joining here on the stream. Don't forget, like and subscribe. It really helps us out too, and so you don't miss out on future videos that we got, because we'll be talking about this game and much, much more when we next week when we get another episode out talking about that. So it should be a lot of fun. Let's get to this comment we have here from Instagram though about the Stamkos contract situation. So I think this is interesting. It's been back and forth for me. When it first came out, I was not happy. Listen, I'm a big diehard Lightning fan. I've been a Lightning fan my whole life. Stamkos is the pillar of this franchise and has been for so long. And I do not want to lose Stamkos whatsoever. I understand where JBB is coming from. He's looking at it from a team's perspective, from the future. He doesn't want to overpay anybody, even if it is a guy that has all this novelty and is the captain of the team. But to me, Stamkos is just not a guy you can lose. He said on Wade, I don't know if you guys heard that interview, WDA Wade, he said that he still has a lot of hockey left to give, he thinks. So he's not looking to go anywhere. He always said he wants to stay in Tampa, but it has remained right now that, Stamkos, there's no new news until the offseason comes. I was just upset about the fact that it seems like there was a little bit of miscommunication between Stamkos and JBB, as Stamkos was frustrated, which to me, that was the only thing that upset me, which it's Stamkos. You have to give him that respect, at least communicate with him. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but that's what I saw.
No, you don't. He's a big boy, and it's a business. His contract wasn't up.
Not required,
he
but
wanted an extension. I mean, he did tell him that he would discuss things later. He was hoping that later would be over the summer, but they weren't. But at the end of the day, you don't know what the cap is going to be. You don't know what Stammer's true value is going to be. You don't know the way all these moves that you made and gave up so many picks are going to end up even turning out. What's the team going to look like when it comes time to actually sign the extension for him? So, I don't know. I can understand feeling for Stamkos. You could definitely see his frustration, and that was one hell of either a media ploy or a media slip on his part. But I don't
You
know.
have to
I kind of side with JBB here.
you have to understand where Steven is coming from, or like at least why he'd be a bit offended when every person that is part of this core, which is what, 6 guys or so, has been signed to a deal. As soon as you are, legally able to sign that extension,
That's a
a
good
new
point.
contract, and this is twice now that he's not. That he's been a literal game time decision for a contract. It's come down to the wire each and every time. Whereas all his peers, the guys that he's won with and made this into a dynasty team with, they've all gotten signed again as immediately as they could. So I could understand feeling a bit slighted by that, especially when you are the captain and you do consider yourself objectively are a core piece of the team. I could see why that'd be a little bit of a kick.
Yeah. And that's a good point, Matt. This is the second time that it's been a game time. To be fair, it wasn't JBB the first time around when that came, but and again, I get it. You're right, Joe. I mean, JBB's got an obligation to
Ooh,
make
that's
the
too many
best
men.
team possible.
That was too many men.
For us.
Oh, did they have too many
Oh
men?
yeah. Yeah, he played it while the other guy wasn't on the bench yet and almost got a score. Man, Rangers fans, I mean, I would have felt for you if the Lightning scored after that one.
I wouldn't have. It would have sucked for them, but I wouldn't have felt bad for them.
I would have loved
I would have understood. I would have understood where they would have felt.
Right.
Ooh, Sherry.
There's Sherry, man, a guy who has not been able to get much going this year. How are you guys feeling on Connor Sherry?
I'm a little torn on him. I think it sounds wrong, but he's been a disappointment this year. I was expecting more from him. For better or for worse, I've kind of let off my hatred of Darren Ranish and placed it kind of onto Connor Sherry, and I don't know, like he just early in the season he just seems to not do a whole lot. He's been better as of late. I know he's had some injury issues, but for the longest time there would be games where I'd be like, is he even playing?
Well, yeah, and he hasn't been that impressive with the puck on his stick, but also considering who he's had on his line previously, maybe that kind of bumped his numbers artificially a little bit.
Oh
Sherry
yeah,
was the guy
what he's doing as a lower line guy is, I think, decent enough, and he's a veteran, so he's not a real liability in a lot of cases. Like he's not doing anything special, but he's eating up minutes, which for a lower line guy, that's something that is pretty important.
I think the expectations on him were a little high, and that could be partially my fault because my expectations were very high for him when he first came over. But
yours were.
My expectations were very high,
Yeah.
but it's still early. So, all right, end of the first period, 0-0 score. But you know what? I thought overall that was a decent period. How'd you guys feel after that one?
It's funny that there's only they're only registering 6 shots and 5. I mean, the Lightning hit the post 2 or 3 times, so that, those don't get figured in. But it's fewer shots, but it felt like there's quite a bit of back and forth action. Both teams are playing pretty solid defensively once you enter the zone. There hasn't been a lot of sustained zone time for either team.
Yeah, no team really has the clear edge coming out of that period. It was a well played period by each of them. Chances here and there. I'd say the Lightning probably definitely had the better chances, but there were still some scrambles in front on both sides. This is anyone's game still.
Yeah.
And let us know for anybody in the chat too if you guys got any intermission questions. Oh, I just saw that pulled over back to the stream. But you do have a question. Team look good. Have to keep up the pace, and the goals will come. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, and with both of these teams, they can be pretty explosive at times. So one goal's, I don't think a 1-goal game is going to do it for either side.
Sorry, fixing our end over here. All right, hopefully now you guys will be able to not have to look at that.
So I don't know if you guys saw someone, Dan posted in our chat that Stamkos, it was his choice to test the market last time. Yeah, this one right here, just to bring up the Stamkos portion again while we've got a couple of minutes.
Stamkos
pretty fair.
last time, still don't even know the caps are sure. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was Stamkos' choice and also to test the market last time. That I did not know. So yeah, and again, listen, I get it. JB wants to put out the best team there, but to me also, Stamkos I think is still going to be a great player. I guess it's more of, I think JB said this too. He's more of seeing what's happening with other players to see the budget that he's going to have, not necessarily Stamkos. It sounds like to me, and we're not behind the scenes. It just could have been communicated better. I think that's where the issue happened. Is clearly whether it was Stamkos not understanding or JBB not communicating. I don't know what it was. Clearly there was some miscommunication somewhere, and that's where the frustration comes in. I get JBB's side. I get Stamkos' side. Hopefully they can work it out and make sure that he comes back, because I would be devastated if Steven Stamkos is not on this team next year, which I think he'll be back. I'd be surprised.
One of the more intelligent replies in chat just came through.
Michael Wax will be joining us in a little bit here as well. Joe being on JBB's side is not surprising.
Well, I mean, look, JBB for the most part, and the same thing, going back with Yzerman, which, JBB grew up under Yzerman, if you will. Always kind of trusted in what they were doing until they give you a real reason to not believe in them. I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. After all, 2 cups is a big deal, and then making playoff runs and losing in the finals the next year. That's a big deal when it comes to from a management standpoint. So he's had to make a ton of moves, and the team ended up having some hardware to show for it. It's not an easy job to do, even though he was handed a decent core. But also, look at teams in other markets that don't have what we have here in Tampa. It's crazy. Like when you think about GMs getting fired for, well, I mean, look at Toronto. Look at what happened last year in Toronto, which I think that was pretty insane overall. I can't believe anybody would hire good old what's his face as a GM again.
The Leafs GM.
Oh, Dubas.
Kyle Dubas. Yeah, you don't know. JBB's done amazing. To his credit, he kind of did what Yzerman couldn't, putting him over the edge to an extent. I mean, Yzerman did a lot of that groundwork and built this team the way it was. But
Yzerman was handed a pile of crap and polished it into
no question. No question. But, JBB, to his credit, put the finishing touches on it and helped them get over that edge by making some of those great trades. He's made some fantastic trades over the years as well. Listen, if there's any guy I'm willing to trust, it's JBB.
The way I boil it down to is that Steve Yzerman was the master architect, and JBB was the master craftsman. He put the thing together after Yzerman drew up the blueprints, if you will.
That's a great way to put it.
It takes both of them to get to where that team got.
That's pretty fair. I like that. I like that analogy.
Cernak with 3 hits, by the way, in his return already.
I didn't even think about that. We can pull up some live stats while this is going on.
I just pulled up, the NHL. I'm trying to look. We were thinking about doing some player. You guys got a player of the period at all? A player that you thought was the best? I don't think anybody stood out to me too much in that period.
Yeah, I got nobody that really stuck out to me, I'll say. Kucherov's the easy answer. I'd say he had the best chance of the bunch of anybody, but scoreless game, got to go with Vazzy.
Ooh, I love this question. Blackhawks versus Blues next year, Winners Classic. What's the dream outdoor game?
Tampa versus Florida. Panthers versus Lightning. That, of course.
Oh,
that is
so
such
amazing.
a nightmare logistically. Like, that is such a nightmare logistically.
Logistically, but that's not what he asked. He said, what is the dream game?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I would love, you're right, Joe, though. That would be a logistic nightmare for sure, especially with the way Florida weather is. There'd be like one day where you could maybe pull it off, but it's so hard to predict that.
And then they try to like hedge their bets by doing something stupid and putting it in the trop.
Yes, that I would not be. Do not give me a Lightning Panthers game in the trop. I'm not a fan of that.
So if it had to be
Tampa versus Colorado,
I love it.
Yeah,
I'd make the trip.
That would be a fun one. Although, so Eureka, our producer, for those that don't know, is a closet. I'm going to call him a closet Colorado fan. Even though he's
He's
from
open.
Colorado, he's open. But he said he's a huge fan of that. That would be a lot of fun. I wonder how tough would that be on the players playing outdoors in that altitude.
No worse than any.
That'd be fine.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Think about how cold it's been. Like for what was it the one that was in Michigan? There's been a couple that were really cold, but I mean,
listen, I'm just saying,
all these guys grew up. Yeah, suck it up. They're hockey players, as Eureka's putting.
The one in Minnesota a couple of years ago, it was Minnesota and St. Louis, I think. I think that one broke or got close to the record for the coldest Winter Classic game. It was -15 or something. It was just brutal.
Not to change subjects really, but wasn't that a playoff game like 2 or 3 weeks ago that was in?
Oh, the Kansas City Miami game.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the coldest playoff game of all time or something.
It was something.
It wasn't of all time. It wasn't of all, but it was up there. It might have been the coldest game in Kansas City, maybe. I'm not sure.
Either way, they got through it, and they're it's.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying listen, they're gonna
like hockey
not
players.
be able to play. I will say this: the Winter Classic's always been one of my favorite events. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but they released the ratings for the last couple of Winter Classics for like the last 10 years. It has not been good. The viewership has dropped almost every single year pretty consistently. And a lot of people are upset that it's the Blackhawks again in there, but it seems like they're trying to get Connor Bedard back in there. That's their star. They want to put him up on a pedestal.
They've had him on TV for the last 10 minutes straight. He looks very awkward just standing in the middle of a field.
In the Wrigley Field, yeah.
Trying to talk about something he's never been part of before.
Well, also somebody said this, and I think it was a great point. Somebody said that the Winter Classic has lost its, it was a big event. It was the one game a year that was outdoors, and now they have like a ton of outdoor games, which I do love because the Lightning got to be a part of one, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought the one in Nashville was amazing. I was biased and I was there, but I thought it was great. But maybe there's a point to that it is lost a little bit of its luster.
So yeah, it absolutely is. Think about it, how many there are. I used to look forward to waking up hungover every single New Year's Day and watching the Winter Classic. It was something I would look forward to almost as much as the fireworks that would come at midnight. But when you water it down so much with so many different outdoor games, plus when you have the Winter Classic, how many times has Pittsburgh been in it at this point? 3, maybe.
So
it's been at least 3.
Chicago
right?
too. Chicago, Washington, Pittsburgh. They've got a rotation of teams.
So it does become a bit stale in terms of it being something that's new and fresh. You have to kind of accept it for what it is, and that's not an event for everyone in the United States to watch together, to come together like you would for, I don't know, some, what is it usually? Cowboys. Who do they play for like Thanksgiving every year?
Lions.
Division, Lions, Eagles.
So
Packers, Lions, and then.
So it's not going to be something that you watch every
Cowboys,
single
Redskins.
year no matter where you are in the country. Instead, it's going to be a really cool event for your particular team and maybe someone that's in your division. And that's what they've wanted, for by having so many of the stadium series. It's really more to appeal to those teams and those cities.
Yeah, but at the same, and Eureka, I don't know if you can bring that comment back up. Daniel said that they're repeating venues at this point, which is also true. This is why they tried to do different teams in different venues through the outdoor series, which was not the Winter Classic. But by doing that, they've also made it to where it's not as much of a big event and a big deal as the Winter Classic clearly used to be. I just don't understand why you can't have the Winter Classic, the one game a year, but rotate your teams. And listen, you don't have to have a game down here in Tampa, but just inviting teams like they did for, Nashville. And you get everybody into it, have fun, different teams, new looks. If you want to work in Chicago every once in a while because of Connor Bedard, that's fine, but don't put them in 17 different times.
I don't know if I can get on board with y'all. I mean, I can definitely get on board with, letting Chicago wait a couple more years. They've been in every Winter Classic ever, but they're outdoor games, man. I think they're awesome. Give me
Oh no, they're
all of
great.
them. I don't, you guys are kind of talking like they're watered down, and they might be, but there's only 3 of them maximum a year. They have to alternate the Heritage Classic. You'll always get the Winter and the Stadium Series, but I don't know.
I'm
To
not saying
me,
that at all.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
Yeah,
saying
To
that
no,
me,
no.
don't expect it to be prime time for a ton of people to want to watch every single year. Understand it is what it is, that it's no longer a novelty, and now it's kind of like stabilized, if you will.
I'll still be
I don't know.
watching it.
I
I'll
still
still
think
be
it's
watching it.
cool. I'll still be
I think
watching
it's
it
cool. I
too.
still watch
No,
it.
it's amazing. I like I said, I went to the one in Nashville was awesome. I enjoyed the heck out of that, and I will still be watching the outdoor games because I enjoy them. Although the NHL never tells you what time that those games are on, they just kind of sneak up on you all the time. But that's another issue. I still think it's a great event. I love it. I just wish that they would do a better job of making it this big spectacle that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
That's the biggest gripe, especially with the Stadium Series as well. Going back, for years now, is that they pay, they do all the marketing and advertising for the Winter Classic, and then the Stadium Series, which is equally as cool. It's an outdoor game. It's equally as cool. They don't put nearly as much, time and effort into marketing it and telling everybody about it. A lot of people don't even realize it's going on. They just kind of forget. So.
They sneak up on you. You're just like, oh, there's a Stadium Series game today. Didn't know about that. Although they're pushing this winter classic with Connor Bedard, so maybe that will help out the ratings for this one. We'll have to wait and see.
Ooh.
Here another question: where do you want to see a
I have a
global
very
series
selfish
game
answer
next?
for that one.
Where might that
Global
be?
series.
I
Yeah,
would
Joe, what do you
love for
got?
it to be in somewhere like Florence or Rome.
Ooh.
Italy has had a national team since the 50s, but the actual Italians, the actual Italian residents, don't really aren't really in love with the sport, and it's something that you really only see in the very northern parts of Italy, basically right on the border with like Switzerland and Austria. You don't see it anywhere else. So I think that might bring some excitement to a country that has a national team, has had a national team play in the Olympics, will have a national team play again in the Olympics, but it's just something that's not respected by everyone else. And I mean, I want to go.
I know, no,
it'd
but
be
that would
cool
be
as
a
hell
lot
to
of
go.
fun one, that kind of venue. Real quick, not to interrupt this conversation, I do want to. We got Michael Wax, my co-host over on the Boat Report, joining us. Michael, welcome
What's up, Mikey?
to the first ever RBLR Lightning live stream. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I listened to the first period. You guys have done a great job answering questions, talking about the
Appreciate it.
gameplay. Not to pump your tires while we're on here, but I think you guys have done a great job.
Keep going.
Just hanging out, having fun, man.
Now, if we could just get a goal here, we'll have even more fun and get the Lightning out in front of the Rangers. Yeah, you were covering for us on TBR over there on Twitter. How are you feeling about the game in that first period?
I thought they played well, especially considering that they really struggle when it comes to these long breaks, especially
True.
defensively. I thought they played pretty good so far. As I know you guys had asked or been asked, who was your first period superstar or who was like the guy that stood out to you? For me, it was Tyler Mott. His first game back in New York, he set up that
It's a good one.
chance that Connor Sheary just completely
Oh.
whiffed on, but I think he's been playing with a lot of energy and he's been really good in this game.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Tyler Mott's been good for the Lightning all year. I think he's been one of the players. Matt, were you the one that was super excited
Yep.
about him? Yeah, I
Oh,
knew you were
yeah.
going to be excited about that. Matt was super excited when Mott first came over, and he's been good.
One of my favorite things about Tyler Mott is he's Connor Bedard's favorite player. Oddly enough, he started his career out in Vancouver, but he's a guy who's always a deadline deal. Who was a guy who was always linked to the Lightning. He was a guy who just plays hard. He's that fourth line, third line grinder kind of guy that gets it done and has a scoring edge. I was always hoping for him to come to the Lightning, and getting him in free agency this last year, I was super excited about. And I came to you guys giddy as could be that we signed Luke Glendening and Tyler Mott. I love these kind of guys that they just get it done and play hard.
Tyler Mott and Luke Glendenning, also another guy, came over and has been, a fourth line guy, but has played fantastic and been fantastic for the face-off circle as well, which is something the Lightning needed.
I got a job for Eureka when we get a chance. It doesn't have to be anytime soon, but I'd love to see the points differences at this time in the season with let's put Glendenning and Mott up against Maroon and Belly.
Ooh.
That's a good idea.
That's
we'll have
good.
to try and see if we can find that.
Because Perry, despite being a defensive abomination last year, he was still putting up points because he was on the power play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's a little bit of a cheat there. So it'd be Belmar, Maroon, and then pretty much verse Glendenning and Mott. And I mean, because last year, there's always something to gripe about. If there wasn't, then the show probably wouldn't be interesting at all. But last year, it was, how much were we talking about the fourth line or the bottom six in general, and especially with how slow they were. Their whole job is just to eat minutes and get the puck deep. They don't have to score, but you want to start to wear down the opposing defense, cycle and hit, and allow opportunities for our other forwards to get a little bit of a rest, but also to wear out the other team. And they weren't doing that. They're getting hemmed in and wearing down our defensemen by having them work hard to get the puck out. And that's not something that we're really talking about this year. If anything, they've been, neutral, not exceptional like when we had Yanni out there, but just kind of neutral. All right, the game just
started the second period is back here underway. Appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us for this first episode as well. Let's get some, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future live streams just like this one. And of course, we'll be talking about the game on some future episodes and everything else that's going on with Lightning hockey. Maybe the likes will bring some good luck for the Lightning in this second period.
So yeah, Cherney with,
Ooh, there was a nice chance. Who was that? Was that Stamkos?
Actually, I started looking at stats. Was it Stammer?
Yeah, Stammer just had a nice breakaway chance, but couldn't put it home. I guess it wasn't much of a breakaway. He kind of cut in front late.
Yeah, if you can flick your backhand for a play like that, you can really catch a goalie out because it's hard. It's very hard to read both the moving across and to be able to read it coming off the stick backhand. That shot say was 98 miles an hour.
Is that what it was? That's a hard shot.
Oh, okay. So if it comes off your backhand as you're moving, son of a, look at that! I even have it even puts it on the feed.
The goal, in their top right there. Well, Rangers apparently.
Are you that far? Are you that far behind?
I am.
Even on the.
I've got it up on my TV.
Okay.
But I was well ahead. I don't know where it messed up, but
that was a perfect example of anything you can do, I can do better. Look at that flick.
Oh, it went off of Vasily's back. That's like the fifth goal that I've seen go off of Vasilevsky's back.
I think that was going far bar. Either way,
you'll never guess who got the primary assist on that goal.
Barclay Goodrow.
Yep.
Of course it is. Former Lightning players and scoring against their former team, man. Well, that's unfortunate. Lightning have been, again, I hope it's not one of those situations where they've played well, but they just aren't getting the puck luck that they need. And that was a good shot there, but all right, got to bounce back here, hopefully quickly. Well, they got Henrik Lundqvist on the broadcast now.
Oh yeah. Would they put a Lightning person on the broadcast?
No.
Did they, you're saying? Or would they?
At the game.
Would they?
I mean, if it was a home game, no. I mean, haven't they had Was it TNT that had Callie on it? Callahan?
No, he's
Callie's on
E-
ESPN.
He's on ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a hold. All right, Lightning going to the penalty kill now. EC Mott.
Well, if you look, he grips right down on the down on his
Yeah,
hand.
Lundqvist does work for TNT. I guess it was an off day, but he was at the game clearly, and they decided to bring him up, which I think is actually a smart idea. I mean,
Yeah. It all goes back to that Game 5 Islanders Lightning, where they decided to have the Islanders play-by-play guy do play-by-play for the national
Brendan Burke.
broadcast. You know, it is what it is. I like Brendan Burke, but like, you can't be doing that.
I do think they would bring in a Lightning guy if he was at the game, like it was in this situation, even if he didn't work for TNT.
You mean more for the play-by-play? Is that what you're saying?
Are you talking to me or Jake?
Yeah, to you. Like, were you saying that because it was
just like
if
you're gonna have someone on the broadcast for one team, you should balance it out for like someone on the other team. Like, keep it as neutral as you can.
You think that it matters that much? I mean, even if there is a little bit of bias, do you think that it ruins the game?
It's just another thing I have to look at Twitter comments for. Really,
I get the whole Barzell. Well, I was gonna go real profane.
Barzell is Dennis Potvin. The whole like Eddie Olczyk talking about how good Matt Barzell was during 2020,
especially comparing him to a defenseman.
Ooh, the Lightning might have had a chance there, but I couldn't see who that was. Somebody fell over and slashed the puck out of the zone. I think it was Glendening that was going to take that.
Make the safe play.
Yes, get it deep. You have the chance to get it deep. Get it deep.
No, I'm saying it was unfortunate though. I think Glendening could have taken it, down the ice and then dumped it if he needed to.
No, they're already out there for 45.
Yeah,
and that was not a simple kill.
Well,
so that's where you get into a lot of trouble, is when you try to push offense and you sacrifice defense. That's something that.
Well, I'm not
this
saying
team
that
knows very well.
Take it down and make a rush chance. I'm saying, I think he could have had the puck. He could have skated down if he had something. He had something. If not, just cleared it down. Well, so Eureka found that some of the stats here, Joe, for you when you were talking about Mott and Glendening and Bellemare Maroon. Mott 6 points, Glendening 9 points, Bellemare 7 points, and Maroon 4 points. That's
I just threw him a curveball and told him I need the I'm more interested in the plus minus, to be honest. The actual points, that's helpful. It's helpful because I mean you can see that that's surprising to me. I knew that Maroon was struggling and only has 4 points in that time, but I didn't realize that Bellemare had 7. That's still not it's really not a ton. How many games has both Mott and Glendening missed though? They've both been out for stretches, right?
I don't think Glendening's missed a game.
It's just Mott and Sherry.
Maroon just went on IR, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no.
He was doing so well to start the season. I want to say he was like
he
7
had a hot
points
start
in 9 games, and then like immediately just cratered.
Lightning kill off the penalty. All right.
It was weird.
Momentum now.
It was weird too when Maroon was he had that hot stick early in the season. It was when Minnesota was doing like really, really terribly too. He was like the only one that was seemed to be trying on that team.
Not to stick on Tyler Mott, but if it wasn't for Josh Archibald, we wouldn't have Tyler Mott.
You're right. Yeah,
forgetting about that.
Yeah. I think my wife is in the other room, and I don't know what the hell she's watching, but I keep hearing Michigan saying he scores, so she must be watching like Bolt's beginning, like the.
Oh,
I keep thinking that.
I hope she's listening to the radio broadcast, which is ahead, and I hope we're about to see a goal. No. That's what I hope.
Oh,
yeah, she's not going to be. Well, Oh my god, it'd been so funny.
They
if that
almost
was
scored
it.
there
That
too.
would, yeah.
She's not gonna be watching me on the live stream. So any viewers we have, definitely she's not taking up any of those numbers.
We appreciate everybody that's joined us here for this first ever live stream right here on RBR Lightning. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future ones just like this. And follow us on social media at RBLR Sports or at RBR Lightning. It's not just us too. We've got amazing podcasts around on the RBLR Sports channel. The Bucks, the Rays, the Rowdies, and as you can see right down below right now, shop.rblrsports.com, and you can use code BOLTS to get 10% off your order. They've got some awesome team-inspired merchandise over there as well. So be sure to go check that out and use code BOLTS to get 10% off your order. I just went to Amalie Arena today. It was because I was down in the city, and I picked up myself a blue Gasparilla shirt, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, nice.
Not as nice.
I didn't know that they had blue ones out. I'd only seen like the white ones, and I am way too sloppy of a person to be wearing white regularly.
I didn't see it either, Joe, but the Lightning tweeted a picture of Darren Radish wearing it, and I was like, ooh, that's nice. And the Tampa Bay Sports Store responded like, here's the link. Go check it out. And
Ooh.
it's pretty nice.
Joe, they've also got black ones.
Do they? I
Yeah,
saw
I
the one that was
I have a black
that he
one.
picked up. You got one?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think that I'm allowed to buy any more Lightning gear right now.
Somebody needs
Oh, I
to
was
stop
in that-
me from
I was
buying the
in that
Gasparilla
store.
gear.
Yeah.
I was in that store. I'm like, I could have spent $1,000 in here. It's bad. Eureka got the plus minus. Look at Eureka, man. He's so good. Mott -1, Glendenning +2, Belmar -3, Maroon -3.
Well, yeah. I mean, so there, you're +1 versus -6, and moreover, you just tell that line was being dominated. So kind of like I was saying with even if it's not shown explicitly on the scoreboard, you could tell how tired the D were getting when those guys were out there, just having trouble getting the puck out. Where in years previous, their ability to grind was excellent.
One of the big things too was in 2022, the penalty kill with Belmar as the 1C was, I think, top 10. They were really good. They were generating scoring chances. They were always limiting the opposition because I want to say it was Belmar and Joseph. And I remember writing about them a lot when we did game previews because they were really good. 2023, they were not good at all. They got demoted to the second pair. They barely saw the ice. So that was the big thing for me when I was like, oh, Belmar has very clearly lost a step.
Oh boy, chance for the Rangers here.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice defense. All right, Cernak. Nice to
All
have
right,
him back
Cherny.
there. I got another comment on the Instagram. We got who do we think is the breakout player this year for the Lightning?
Lilleberg.
Lillenberg.
Yeah.
Matt on the same page. It's got to be him, right? He's been fantastic.
That kid's a freaking stud. Oh my God, what's this guy? Who's 10 on the Rangers?
Panarin. 10?
Was that Panarin?
Bread man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He's like out stick handling himself on that one. Yeah, definitely. I would say Lilleberg. I mean, that kid's just awesome.
Oh no,
yeah.
I love the
Sergachev
way
is
he
hurt.
plays.
Oh, good
Oh
God.
no.
Oh no.
And he just came back too.
Oh, he's grabbing
That
his
doesn't
leg.
look good.
He is
probably re-injured
hurt.
something. There's Tom Mulligan. Which, by the way, we did an interview with him on the Bulls. Terrible
Don't-
time.
don't-
That's terrible timing.
All right. Well, that is.
You want me to put the bug back
Hope he's
above
okay.
me with the time if it's not up? I didn't see the actual play that
I didn't see
I
anything.
didn't either.
I
It
was
was
looking
in
at
the
the other side of
corner.
the ice.
It was
The
a
The way that
it was
he's
a
down though,
reverse-
I can only imagine that he
reverse-
went in
reverse
awkwardly
hit.
with his skate.
him and I think that was Panarin were going for the puck. It was a reverse hit.
It was a
And,
reverse hit, but he's grabbing his
think so.
leg.
No, like he twisted awkwardly.
I'm sure they'll
And
show a
that's what-
replay here momentarily.
So my the Saturday night team that I'm a part of, the one that my wife plays on, and the I love the group of people that are on it. Just had a recent name change to the Ankle Breakers, and on one hand you can say that some people like Panarin that are twisting back and forth, making people break their ankles, but in reality we got like 4 or 5 people that are on the team that have broken their leg or their ankle while
Oh,
playing on the ice. So there's like
Oh,
an
boy.
honorary patch too. Like if you broke your ankle in the line of duty, you get to wear one of those. Awesome.
That's
Uh,
fun.
for the question about breakout stars, not to be a contrarian, but more so just
Oh.
a question. Has Mitchell Chafee earned a permanent roster spot?
Hey, real quick, Michael, I don't want to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I see this. It just came back from break. We'll
They
talk about it
bringing
later.
out the stretcher for Sergachev. All the players on the ice right now. That is, I just absolutely hate to see that, especially for Sergachev, who's such a young player. Just getting him back. Hopefully, he's okay. I have not seen the injury yet. I don't know exactly what happened. They may not show a replay now at this point.
they'll
Oh
show
man, that is
something.
brutal. Really unfortunate.
All right. Well, I mean,
Damn.
if they're breaking out the stretcher, you got to figure that they think that his leg's broken, right?
Yeah, it's
Prob-
got to be bad if it's a
Which
stretcher.
would probably mean he's done for the season.
Yep.
Obviously.
Well, I
But
mean, you'd be surprised. A broken
yeah.
leg is like 8 to 12. If it's a clean break, it can be way faster than if it's soft tissue damage.
That's true. Here's a replay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the
we're getting a
sentiment.
replay now.
Oh,
He's gonna come down on it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so,
yep. Looks like it just twisted. And
and he got
Oof.
locked in the. Yeah. So you got to hope that.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
a clean break if it's a broken leg.
He immediately screamed too.
Yeah. And how fast did Lovins come back?
oh,
Put that in there.
Who?
Talking to someone in chat.
Oh,
One of the guys that recently broke their leg on the Saturday night team. He was back on the ice in short time. Have a few people that I know that have broken their leg, and as long as it's not soft tissue damage.
Sergachev's got his face covered right now. Players come up to him saying, tap on the shoulder. He that does not look
Sucks,
like the
man.
face of a player that this is going to be that's awful.
dude, I bet you it's not even like a pain face. He's probably just so upset. Like,
Yeah, he just came back. Cooper just
Oh.
left the bench as well.
He's gonna
I
meet
was
him in the
presumed
back.
to go talk with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say there. So I mean, like I said, if it is something that's literally just bone, then I mean, there's a good chance for it only being something like 8 weeks.
Man, I hope so. But because obviously, I mean, it's so unfortunate. I feel so bad for him. But just the way that looked didn't look good.
Yeah, and then like if it's tearing ligaments and everything else, then that could be 6 months if it's the right ones. Because you probably need surgery on soft tissue is rough, but obviously we're all holding our breath.
Says on YouTube, JV's definitely shopping for a defenseman now. Yep,
that's
strong possibility.
So here's the other thing too: is if it is a break with the possibility, even if he's not coming back, I mean the LTIR, they'll know almost instantly. They'll probably know within the next, or maybe even already know if he's going to be LTIR, and then that's a hell of a lot of cap space to be able to make some moves. And
8 million.
Well, I brought up the interview we did with Tom Mulligan recently. He kind of talked about this a little bit, but another over the cap situation again. He talked about this in diagnosing injuries and stuff like that. He didn't think specifically, but he was basically saying that the first thought process is, trying to figure out exactly what the injury is. And then they go to all these different doctors to figure out, what is the best case scenario. And they've worked with a lot of players dealing with injuries this year, obviously with Vasilevsky, and, some of the other guys who have been hurt too, with Chernak, who just came back. And they really try to, I think, make sure these guys come back 100% and take it slow rather than rush them back, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see what the diagnosis is. I don't think we'll know for at least a couple of days, though. I think they'll take their time and figure out.
Yeah, you
exactly
won't hear
what the best
anything
case
for a
scenario
bit.
is. Oh, now
Whoever
Rangers
that was that is gingerly leading back to the bench.
I think it was.
I nearly
Sorelli.
started crying after the Sergachev thing because I thought someone else had gotten hurt too.
Would be our luck.
Well, and now the Lightning are playing this game down a defender. Although the Lightning have tended to play better. What was the one game where they had like 2 defensemen get hurt in the game? They're down to like 4 defensemen.
4.
Well, there was one game a couple of years ago. We didn't even ice 2 or all 6 defensemen. We only put 4 out there.
That's right.
It was against the Kings.
Yeah, it was against the Kings in Los Angeles. Oh, what a shot!
And Hedman, he
loved it.
This was Hedman played like 25 minutes. He scored 2 goals. He was so good that game.
Oh man, he's getting his chiclets repaired there.
Jake,
Rangers player got hit in the face is leaving. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Jake and Michael, something funny on my I just got a notification from YouTube. Thunderstruck episode 52 with Tom Mulligan. If that isn't relevant.
Another comment here from Instagram. Who do we think is the dark horse playoff contender this year as of right now? Us?
Us is an
We're
obvious
on a dark
answer.
horse spot. Let me take a look. I got to look back at the standings.
2 immediately come to mind for me, and it's Seattle, who's quietly climbed back up the standings after a really rough start, and Nashville. I think they've got kind of a gritty team that might be able to sneak into a spot. Those are the first 2 that come to mind. New Jersey is a prime candidate, to bounce back. I don't know if you'd really call them a dark horse.
Got a long way to go, though.
Do they? If they can find a goalie and I
think they're just too young.
How about the Kings? I think they're in a playoff
like
spot
favorite
right
at
now.
some point. Though.
It's hard to call them a dark horse.
Yeah.
Can you be a dark horse if you fell off the deep end?
I guess so, but they're their second wild card spot, and they were losing a bunch of games there in that mid part of the season, and we're struggling.
From YouTube, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Daniel says
Philly. They're sneaking up. They're sneaking up in points.
They're second in the Metro.
Yeah, are they a dark horse though?
I don't. Well, I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but at the same rate, they haven't. They were behind the Islanders and the Penguins for a long while, behind the Devils for a long while. They've just been kind of hanging in there while the other teams have been starting to drop off. I think that Eureka. I think that the Flyers are actually surprising me with how well they've been playing. Eureka's saying
they put up
Edmonton's doing well.
They put up a graphic when we played against Philly and showing that Tortorella, every time he's coached a team, like versus first, versus second, versus like the teams get better every single year. And Philly's basically done the same thing here. But yeah, it's a good pick.
So Eureka's pick is a little bit of a chew on me. I didn't realize that that Edmonton had put a streak together of like, I don't even know what they're at right now. If
it was at
16. They lost to Vegas last night.
Oh, they did lose. Okay. So I think when it was at like 12, I didn't even know that they had put together that big of a streak. And that's why he's saying that he thinks that, or he's hearing that Edmonton's doing well recently.
Well,
thanks,
Joe,
buddy.
Been doing well.
Joe, what standings page were you looking at?
I learned my lesson. I definitely learned my lesson on that. I didn't know that it would cash. I didn't know that it it saves whatever day you on the second that you load it, and then keeps showing you old results even though you hit refresh. What a stupid design that. I mean, just in general, NHL.com's design is horrible.
I
Their
wouldn't be
app is
surprised if
even worse.
I wouldn't be surprised if I opened up the app one day and I saw the Whalers and the North Stars in the standings or something.
Yeah, they put out a statement today too about stat tracking. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what we're talking about. And
I
it's like,
guess
What the
fix your
statement say? I
website.
didn't see that one.
it was something about them going back and doing an audit on hit counts. I don't know if it's like this season or how far they're going to go back, but they're going to retrack hits and adjust the stats accordingly.
Yeah, it was something I didn't fully understand it, to be completely honest with you, but I don't know. The NHL
I have
website,
it
I
on
think, took a backseat
pseudo
this year.
good authority that that there's going to be some processes coming up, and at some point to be as cryptic as possible, where the stat keeping is going to be significantly more accurate.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we
Well, they're
elaborate?
pushing that NHL Edge, all those new advanced analytics. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean,
You just wish the
there's,
website was better.
yeah, the website is rough. But you think you got somebody that's manually keeping track of everything that's going on. They're literally making calls out to somebody that's pressing buttons.
It does sound like an archaic system.
White 71 hit on 8 blue. That would be a call out, and they'll press the buttons in order to make that happen, and that's how the stats are mostly kept.
Another chance for the Rangers here. Ooh,
Wow.
Nice save by Vasilevsky.
We haven't been able to get anything going since that Sergey.
Your feed is about 20 seconds ahead of ours. I swear to God, if you if you cheer for a goal before it comes through.
I matched it up. I'm with you guys now.
No, I was saying somebody in chat.
Oh, okay.
I was saying Dan.
Oh,
You put nice glove right as the Rangers were coming down the ice.
They, yeah, Matt, you're right. Ever since that Sergachev injury, they haven't been able to get too much going. Shots are still pretty even, but it just feels like another one of those games again. And this is the way it goes against New York all the time.
Yeah, we're 1-5-1 in our last 6 regular season or 7 regular season games.
You weren't here, Michael. I brought that up. I asked the guys, I said, can you guess what our record is in the last 7 against the Rangers?
I wonder where you got that information from.
Where do you think I got that information from? The stat man.
The stat man.
Again, I want to thank everybody who's been joining us here for this first ever RBR Lightning Watch Party. Appreciate you guys joining in and sending in the comments. Everybody that's been chatting with us, hanging out here. Don't forget, hit that like button and that subscribe button if you're coming back anyway. Why not? And so you don't miss out on future episodes.
This might go.
Go ahead. No.
This might be in real bad taste, but I'm not the one that sent it. It was my friend that sent it to me. It was a picture of Aaron Rodgers walking out into MetLife Stadium, and he captioned it "Sergey's return." That's
all right. Too soon.
Too soon.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's not life threatening. Okay, it's not life threatening.
Yeah.
So
it just sucks.
Damn, that's funny.
It's funny, but it's like
deflating. Yeah.
Our biggest tweet in terms of interactions is the one, of course, where Sergachev gets hurt.
Of course.
I love doing this, Jake. I really do.
Hey, you got vacation coming up here, so I'll be taking over.
Vacation and a new job. So,
where are you going on vacation, Michael?
I'm going back to Boston, and then I'm gonna go house hunt or apartment hunting in my new area. So,
is that in Boston or is that just a vacation?
No, that's where the Hot Rods play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Things like looks done for the year. IMO. Thank you, Twitter doctor. That's it for Sergey. For Sergey. Thank you, doctor. His season is over. Thank you, doctor. Well, that's probably the end of his career with the Bolts. That's a new
Oh.
one.
That's a
There's
bit
people out
extreme.
there that think Sergachev is going to be traded, and I've seen that a couple of times now. I don't. He just signed a huge contract with us. He's such a young, great defender. He's been getting better. He's had a little bit of a rough year this year, unfortunately, because of injuries and stuff like that. But I don't see him going anywhere at all.
I thought it was a
I'm not going to
potential.
say anything, Jake. I'm not going to say anything about who else that parallels that you want to see traded.
Who might that be?
Wait, who?
Eric Chernak.
Oh, listen. I love Chernak, and I think he's been great in his debut here after coming back from an injury. But listen, it was just because we were rumored to get Jacob Chikrin, and I like Jacob Chikrin, and he's the guy that kind of worked to make it happen. That's no hard feelings to Chernak. But you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It does parallel him a lot, and that was the one thing that I wasn't sure about a trade for that. I'm like, I can't see them moving Chernak, so I don't know what else JBB's got up his sleeve. I'm sure he's got something though, as JBB does.
I mean, maybe not. He probably did not have anything to even remotely evaluate a situation that he's getting into now.
Oh yeah, no. I'm saying like even before this,
for
he's
right-handed
always
D.
got
But now
trade.
this is a whole new animal that opens up. Think about it this way: if you're down Sergachev, a left-handed defenseman, and now all of a sudden you have potentially $8 million to play with, that dramatically changes your ability to get a skilled right-handed defenseman.
Oh yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I don't think that you replace Sergachev. That's not what you try doing.
No.
This was not in the cards for what they had planned, but
That's what I'm
the
saying. I don't
Lightning
think there's a
have
playbook for it.
the Lightning have a scout today at the Blackhawks versus Wild game, and they also have a scout at the Stars Leafs game.
So yeah, they've been scouting a ton. The
All over
Wild,
the
they've been. Who are they looking at? They've had a scout at the Wild game a few times now.
Let's go to Cat Friendly, and we can talk about this potentially at intermission.
Maybe.
Damn.
This
I
is
think
where
that's a
Michael
great.
comes
Can you
to
put it
the
up, Eureka?
Oh, I was wondering what you were laughing at. Goodbye, 2025.
Hey, as we
That might be
established the other day, 2027 picks aren't safe either now.
That might be the comment of the night. Seriously. All right, here we go. Here we
Ooh.
go.
Ooh, Hagel with a nice shot.
I loved that one, man.
You got the TNT broadcast talking about Hagel should have passed it. Like they shoot, they get mad, they don't pass it. They pass it, they
What?
get mad, they
Oh,
don't
the
shoot. What do you want them to
linesman-
do there?
The linesman just tripped Hagel.
That's not offsides.
I mean, to be fair, Phil Esposito does the same thing. So
Well, that's Phil Esposito. He gets a pass. This is TNT.
Why did?
Too
I know
soon.
they probably already had the highlight pack, but I don't know
Too
why they
soon.
showed Sergey.
Yeah.
All right, well, still a 1-0 game in favor of the Rangers. Been
Oh,
an
they didn't
unfortunate
show
one so
Sergey-
far for Lightning.
They didn't say Sergey, getting structured off.
No, it's him smiling, but it's still just kind of weird.
So this from Eric Erlinson, he said, I got a good look at the replay. His leg and specifically his ankle was the one that turned at an angle not normal and pinned underneath him as he fell. So
Yeah, but from experience, I can tell you that if your ankle turns like that, you can definitely 100% break your leg.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a doctor here, but like it could be
Yeah.
anything from ankle
Yeah,
to leg to
100%.
ACL. Like
That's why I'm hoping that it is a leg break, as opposed to like the ankle doesn't have as much blood flow and it could be a lot worse.
yeah.
You just hope it's nothing serious, obviously, and you just feel so bad for just coming back from injury too. And I know he was excited to get back on the ice. I think he talked about it in an interview before this game, and to go back and get hurt again, that is so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like Max Pacioretty last year. He the season before he tore his Achilles. Then he, comes back a year later and 4 games in, tears his other Achilles. Like just What a kick. Like, you just come back, and 4 games in, you're out for the season again. It sucks.
Yeah, no question about it. Hate to see it. But hopefully there's nothing serious and the Lightning can pull one out for him. Win it for Sergey.
It's such big injuries like this happen because it really takes the steam out of the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a really fun first period, and now it kind of feels like they're going through the motions a little bit.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I don't blame them. That's tough. You just hope it lights a fire on them a little bit, maybe too.
Who do we think replaces him in the lineup?
Well, I'd have to imagine DeHaan comes back in now.
Yeah.
Is it DeHaan or is it Fleury?
Rotate him in and out. I thought Fleury was playing good before he got injured, but just again, you got 2 quality defensemen that can play either night. If everybody's healthy, minus Sergachev, just rotate them. See what you got for both of them. Ride the hot hand.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect strategy, honestly. I mean, you got to give Fleury enough reps that he's not getting rusty and cold, and still has confidence because defense is a tough position to play for sure. But DeHaan's been serviceable and consistent. I say thank God for Lilleberg coming in just to be an additional option out of nowhere, as if we weren't already high on him.
Lilleberg and Crozier, if you need to call him up in a pinch. I understand he's a right-handed defenseman, but he played well when he was up here.
I can't keep track of all the guys that played well. We had so many different rookies come up, and they all were pretty decent. No, they need to. I mean, not to state the obvious, but need to get a goal. They got a lot of hockey left, but just feels like the momentum is not on their side right now.
Yeah, I mean, they still got a whole. Oh, never mind.
That's unfortunate. Quick shot there. And 2-0. That's a much bigger mountain to climb, especially with the way this game has been going, than 1-0.
All right, let's see this one again.
You just can't give a guy like that much open space.
What are you doing if you're Chernak standing there? You're not blocking the shot. You're not taking the man. It drives me freaking crazy to not take away a scoring position from that. That's the best place you could possibly be for that shot to come from, or for the pass to come from, to take a shot from there. You're opened up as a right-handed shot, and okay.
You got 3 bolts surrounding him. If you're going to give guys in the NHL that much time and room, they're going to score. And that's a big dagger of a goal right there.
2 fourth liners.
I mean, if it's 1-0 going into the third, I think that you can muster up enough energy to come back and play your hearts out. 2 definitely changes the dynamic. Huge. But also when it's something that was. I think that's just so unforgivable to leave a guy wide open right there.
I mean, they left him wide open. He got all of that shot. It's a good shot. Can't give a guy that much time and space. Just can't.
Well, I mean, our defense did start improving with
great.
Without number 81 being out there.
Oh, now we got a penalty.
Yep.
Daniel says we could use a power play right now. Yeah, we absolutely could, but I think we are going to the penalty kill instead. Wrong special teams. And this kills part of your momentum in the third to start the third too.
Do you guys know the movie? Was it Bedazzled? It was a movie where Brendan Fraser was making deals with the devil.
I do
Can't
not.
say I do.
Nothing.
No.
I was gonna say I don't think I'm talking to the right generation for that. Well, the devil was in the details, and unless you were really specific, you could wish for $1 million and end up with a whole bunch of deer on your property.
Nah.
I think Dan didn't specify who was going to get the PP.
Comment from Tippy here from YouTube. Hey, the Bolts ride the momentum wave well. If we can get one back, we are right back in it. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, they're not out of it by any means. If there's anybody that can come back from a goal deficit like this, it's the Lightning. No question about it. And they've done it before.
Big kill, end of the period. Start the third with a little bit of juice there, and easy peasy, right back in it.
Easy
Joe,
peasy.
you mentioned during the first kill, they don't sacrifice defense for offense. They very, very much almost let up a goal there because they tried for an odd man rush, sacrificing defense for offense.
You really have to pick and choose your moments, and that's one of the the big differences when you talk about different skill levels. Is the ability to recognize when to choose your moments, and then how to play stronger and stronger defensively, because there's a lot of guys with hands, but like we've seen with ABB over the years, he's been an AHL points leader, but it doesn't necessarily translate to long stays in the NHL, and that's because a lot of that's the responsibility and the recognizing of when you shouldn't be pushing.
All right, that's the end of the second period. So Bolts go down into the third, down 2-0, and down Sergachev. So a big hill to climb, but they can do it, no question about it. But they're going to need to get some momentum moving quickly here at the start of the third period if they want a shot at getting back in this game. Man, this has been unfortunate for the Bolts. Another comment here from Instagram. Who are some players the Lightning should be looking to sign or trade for if they want to be true contenders this year? I will say this.
That just changed completely. That question from the time that you may have, well, maybe you posted it, after he got hit, but from the start of this game to now, that question has the answer has dramatically changed.
Yeah, I was going to say too, before this game, I think they were contenders as it is, but yeah, now with Sergachev out, who knows how long. I think defense is clearly the number one thing, and I think that was already going to be their goal, was grabbing a defender. They've been rumored for Chychrun and Sean Walker, who both I think are good targets for the Lightning. I don't know. It sounds like they're asking a first round pick for Sean Walker, which I don't know if they're willing to take a late, in a couple of years, first round pick, because that's all the Lightning have right now. I don't know, guys. You got any other defensive targets that you would think the Lightning could go after?
Chychrun's an interesting one. Everybody always is interested in Chychrun. I think he's probably the belle of the ball when it comes to defensemen this year. I just don't know what you could get rid of to get him, but I think the price for Sean Walker, who isn't, exactly as shiny of a name as Chychrun is, the prices are kind of similar for what I'm hearing. I'm not super familiar with either of their respective games, but again, we all know what Chychrun is capable of. Walker, I think, is more of a stay-at-home guy, but obviously defense is what we're going to be needing. It's what we did need before this Sergei injury. It's what we need even more now. So there's a lot more names that we can be looking at now.
So I don't know if I believe in karma necessarily, or in terms of like you don't say the word shutout. If you say it, it won't happen, sort of thing.
Shut out.
Jonathan Quick is pitching a shutout.
Oh man, that was epic with Carolina. But so based on that, how cool would it be if the Lightning somehow were able to win a cup while circumventing the cap, and Sergei came back just in time for playoffs, just to spite, just to set the hockey world ablaze.
Fire. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
If it's a forward, I like Luke Cunnin. If it's a defenseman, now that we probably don't have Sergachev for the rest of the year, why not just go for Noah Hannafin? Like he's an
Ooh.
unrestricted free agent. He makes less than $5 million. JBB can make that work.
I like that.
I like
but
that.
The thing with JB, does he hasn't go after those unrestricted free agents often. I guess this might change things. Something
David
different here.
Savard had the assist, the first assist
That's
on the
true.
cup-winning goal,
That's
and
true.
then walked in free agency.
Comment here from the YouTube channel. Daniel, JVB/Iserman tend to go after guys out of the blue, never tends to be the free agent rentals. Yeah, that is absolutely true. I mean, how many times, heck, even Hagel. I don't think anybody expect. I don't know if it's Hagel, Paul. There's been a lot
Hagel
of
was
trades.
a big name at that deadline.
Right, but no one expected the Lightning to go after him, I don't think.
It was a bit of a
Or did maybe
surprise,
some
but it
did.
wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see what they're saying.
It's always one that you expect and one that you don't.
Yeah.
So with the Lightning, it's you expected Nick Paul. You also got Brendan Hagel. 2021 was a bit different. 2023, you expected Tanner Janot because we heard that name. You didn't expect Asimov. So
Yeah.
I think it really does go 50-50. 2020, you didn't expect either one of them. So that.
We got another intermission question here too from Daniel as well. Daniel, appreciate all the questions you're sending in for us. If you could bring back any former Bolt in their prime and plug them in this lineup, salary cap not a concern, who would you choose? That is a great question. So former Bolt in their prime, no salary cap issue. I gotta think for a minute, guys. You think?
Is it
That's
in
when we
their?
can
in
pause
their-
for a moment to before answering and think about.
Can we set a ground rule real quick? Is it in their prime on the Lightning or in their prime in their career?
Wow.
That is
So we go
big-
back to that
technical
caveat.
here.
That's
that,
a
that we
big
did for our
factor.
teams.
Yeah.
Let's say Lightning. Let's say Lightning.
I think
Like
it should
we
be
were
Lightning,
doing
yeah.
last time. Because
Okay.
I mean,
I was gonna
no,
say
it-
like JT Miller or something.
If
He's
you
having
guys
a
are
great
wondering
year.
what Joe is referring to, we did an episode during the off season where there was a challenge going around where you had to build what was it, 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a
All-time roster.
goaltender, and you had to do it with the numbers adding up to it was less than 100, I think. Or no, it had to
To
be 100
90.
exactly. It was
100, yeah,
exactly
had to add up to
100.
100
Their jersey
exactly.
number. Yeah.
And we did an episode on that. So if you want to go check that out, highly recommend you do. You can find it on our YouTube page. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on those future ones. Just like it says right down below, perfect timing, Eureka. But that's what Joe is referring to when we had a little bit of a debate, some fun, talking if players got the stats from their entire career or if it was specifically. The whole thing was about because one of the players changed their numbers. So they had 2 different numbers.
Kucherov. It was Kuch. He
Yeah.
wore 56. So if you're trying to add up to 100, if you have an 86, that only gives you 14 to divide by 5 other guys
Which you
because you
can't
had
do
to have a
with the
goalie as
Lightning.
well. So you couldn't use Kucherov. But if you used Kucherov while he was wearing number 56, he just wasn't the same guy. And the same thing applied with JT Miller because JT Miller was a really low number with 10, and that would be a great get, except for the fact that he didn't really do much while he was a Bolt. All the points that he's putting up his 100 or his 99-point season, 100-point season was after that when he was no longer with us.
Kubina was the defenseman that I had on my list. That was the big debate. Kubina wore 2 different numbers. I highly recommend you go check out that episode. It was a lot of fun. Kubina could be a good guy to plug into this lineup. Very good. He was one of the. Kubina was a forward, wasn't he?
No, he's a defender.
No, he was a defenseman.
I always mix up Kubina and I can't remember the name.
I know who you're talking about too, and I can't get it either.
Who is it, Matt? Kubina and
as a forward.
there's a forward that I always mix up with Kubina.
It's getting me too. I know exactly who you're going to say.
I'm gonna go look up the Lightning roster.
He was on the 04 team.
I'm gonna throw a name out there for this, and
Why?
it's I was trying to reference someone a little bit older, trying to be a little bit more generational, if you will. But really, I think this team could go for a Yanni Gord. And
Ooh.
I mean, it's so recent of a player, but when was playing for the Bolts, his energy and what he brought to the team and for the team, his ability to kind of score, that was something that the Lightning could use. Or really, it kind of any of those third, fourth line guys, Coleman, Goudreau, from the Bolts, from those double cup runs.
Hey, Jake, was the name you were looking for Modine?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, Freddie
exactly. That's what I was. Same thing.
He
Same
wore
thing.
33.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
I always got Modine and Kubina flip with their positions. I always thought both of them were defense. I don't know what it was. I always mix up their positions for some reason.
So
Both
Modine was
great
one of the
players.
last people that I don't think he actually ever did switch. He used wood. He used wood like his entire career. Maybe when he moved, I think the next team that he played for after the Lightning was Columbus, and I think maybe in like his last year he switched to a composite stick. But he used wood his entire career.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
For the obvious answer after today is Ryan McDonough.
Oh,
For
yeah.
players that need to come back.
That
My
was the obvious
answer.
answer halfway through the season. I love it.
yeah.
That was the obvious answer pre
Those
today's game.
That
It's
darn
even
cat
more
man.
needed.
Why could it not have jumped up the year before? So we could have maybe kept a guy like Ryan McDonough.
right.
My guy is Anton Stroman. I
Huh.
love Prime Stroman. He was
I like that one.
awesome.
How about Jason Garrison?
Prime Jason
He was
Garrison was
solid.
good. Most of Jason Garrison's Lightning tenure was not so good.
I guess true with the Lightning, maybe not as much.
Eureka's said that, I guess someone commented from Instagram. What about Maroon? That's not actually a that's not actually a bad hit.
Prime Maroon.
Prime Maroon was scoring 20 goals on Connor McDavid's wing and just beating people up.
We got a comment here from YouTube. Off the board pick for this team needs is Daryl Sador, someone to stabilize the defense like Stroman or McDonough.
Hey, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yep, that's.
I was reading the
that's,
YouTube
that's strong,
comments.
man. That
Those are
Daryl
good
Sador.
picks.
That's a heck of a name to pull there, buddy. And I know
is.
exactly why you're trying to reference something back then. That's what I was kind of doing too.
To me, I think the obvious answer is
about-
who wouldn't love another Marty St. Louis? I know defense is the issue right now, but why not outscore your problems? Another Marty St. Louis would be great,
Hey,
man.
what happened that one year when we were outscoring our problems? It did not Lightning. Actually, and again, I hate to bring this up, but me and Michael were talking to Braden Coburn on our last interview, and we talked about that 2019 sweep, and he mentioned, the Lightning, they scored a lot, they outscored their problems, but come playoff time, you need to have good defense, and the Lightning did not have that, and it obviously came back to bite them in a big way. So I love it, Marty St. Louis, but maybe outscoring our problems isn't the best solution with our history.
Fine, we need a vibes guy. Andre Waugh.
How about Ryan Callahan? I'll take Ryan Callahan. He's not a good defensive guy either, though, but
pretty
that
good,
wouldn't be that guy sacrificed more than anybody,
did.
and to not win a cup with how much heart he played with. He's a guy that I used to, really idolize his style of play, and he, he really, it's got a bad hand of luck to have to retire early with his back problems. But you can see with how much he would dive face first in front of pucks, sacrifice his body, and just put himself through the ringer for his team that you knew he wouldn't be able to hold up. But who would have thought it was like a degenerative thing completely unrelated to hockey?
He's like Eric Chernak, but a man about it.
The poor guy had to take a lick from Marchand. He deserves a stand. Great question, though.
Another just a guy that just got absolutely destroyed by every puck that came near him, but just was in position for these trucks is Dan Girardi.
Yep, there it is. Dan Girardi.
I love Dan Girardi. I miss him every day.
He blocked so many shots, man. It was crazy. I mean, like there's famous picture of them in the Rangers with the puck literally sitting right up on his eye underneath his sheet.
What this team needs some people to teach him how to block some shots.
He looked like like a pirate, like with the
eye patch.
Get it right in for Gasparilla. Joe, you mentioned it a couple episodes ago that the Lightning were not blocking shots, and then as soon as you had said it on the episode, they started blocking shots a lot more. And
I'm telling you, they listen.
Clearly they do. This is why you guys need to like and subscribe right here, because the Lightning players are listening to the podcast. So why not you join in as well? But yeah, they started blocking shots and they started winning a lot of games. They went on that run where they only lost one. What was it? They won 8 out of 9 or 7 out of 8. Just a great streak.
I was gonna say if you go back for the whole month of January, they only lost 3 games total.
Played really well. If you're curious about some scores,
freaking Maple Leafs lucking into goals again.
Yep.
I was just going to say some scores around the league. Leafs just scored to make it 3-2 in the second intermission. Where's our puck luck, man? Can we get some of that in this game, please?
Nope.
Where's our player luck?
True. Actually, that's the only other game going on right now. Wild and Blackhawks go off at 9:30 p.m. tonight. Only 3 game slate. Leafs up 3-2. That's unfortunate.
Is it time to start betting hockey stuff? I mean, I see every other ad looks like it's DraftKings or some other sports book.
I mean, if you enjoy it and you're not scared to lose your money, because I have. What's that, Joe?
I say, have they actually gotten the hang of it so that the odds are decently accurate? Like I know for a while there, if a team had a back-to-back, they didn't even really consider it for the next game. Things started coming around when they are.
I think it's pretty good for the most. I mean, every app is different too. Like you'll see the odds on one site are different from another site. And you mentioned the back-to-back. The Devils were underdogs against the Avalanche, who were playing on a back-to-back, and New Jersey was home, which I couldn't believe that was the case. Now, granted, they had the injuries, and the Devils did end up winning that game, by the way. So
I told Jake not to do it, and they won. So that just tells you how good I am at this stuff.
Listen, bet responsibly, be safe, but yeah, Daniel.
I'd be down if there's
Hard Rock bet responsibly, boys. Absolutely.
If there's a day that there's like 5 or 6 games going on, I wouldn't mind going to Hard Rock, sitting in the the sports book and
they don't have a sports book.
No, I think they just literally opened it this year.
So here's the thing, right? They have a sports book, but it's not really a sports book. Like it's there, but there's no TVs. There's nowhere you can go there and sit down and watch a bunch of games. It's not like the sports books you're thinking of.
The one that they just opened,
obviously. Yeah.
That they spent like months.
It's a little room. They've got a sports book back there. There's a couple of TVs and a couple kiosks. It's nothing like the ones you would see elsewhere. I would be shocked if they don't eventually build that out and make an actual sports book room. They'd be nuts not to. But currently, right now, it's nothing special. Just bet on the app. But again, bet responsibly. I put limits on my account because I am it's fun. It's fun to do. Well, I don't want to say degenerate. Okay, that makes me look bad. But sometimes. But that's why you got to be responsible with your limits. As long as you're okay with losing the money.
Jake, you're just so excited to gamble, you start shaking.
Hey man, listen, it is fun. It does make those games
screaming, crying, throwing up, gambling.
99% of gamblers quit right before they're about to hit it big.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a terrible saying. Such a terrible saying.
I remember talking about the scout being at the Wild game. The Wild's defense is mostly 1 or 2 year contracts. So Jonas Brodin, 5 years left. I don't think we're going to trade for that. Jake Middleton has 2 years left. He's a left-hand defenseman, 28. Alex Goligoski is an unrestricted free agent after this year. John Merrill has this year and next year. Brock Faber, we're not trading.
No.
Zach Bogosian has 1 year left.
For those
Come
that
home,
don't know,
King.
Matt is a giant
We-
Matt Bogosian fan, which is
we
why he's so
traded-
excited about that.
We traded Zach Bogosian so he could get playing time, and now we're going to trade for him back because we need extra players.
Come home, King. The King has returned. The return of the King.
Oh my
That's what it is.
goodness, Matt.
Someone named Declan Chisholm, who's in RFA after this year. Declan Carlisle's better. And Dakota Murmis is in UFA after this year.
I've never heard of him.
Well, they got to do
those are the-
something. I don't know what JBB's got up his sleeve. I'm sure his afternoon plans have changed now with the injury. Well, I should say afternoon. I'm sure they're going to wait and see. That'll be a question somebody will get, either Cooper or they'll start asking, hey, what's the situation now with Sergachev? And you're going to get the answer. Well, we got to evaluate the situation and figure out what's going on.
No, Jake, we're going to get the question on our intermission questions of who are you going to trade for? Like we run the Lightning account.
Well, I gotta say, I love, yeah, but hey, listen, I love the people. We really appreciate everybody that's coming in and asking questions. It's a lot of fun. You get a couple crazy ones every once in a while, but as we get back to the start of the third period here, hopefully we can get something going for the Lightning. But thank you to everybody who's been. What you have to say, whether it's right here in the YouTube chat or in the future, following us at RBLR Sports, at RBLR Lightning, or if you want to jump over on the Bolt Report too, wherever you got questions, let us know. I'll be happy to answer them as well. Just don't ask who the Lightning are going to trade for. I don't know. All right, so 11 seconds left on this penalty kill. The Lightning are due for a power play. And the way the NHL works with making sure that everything evens up, as we all know how that works. We do for one here. So
It works against most teams. This is the Rangers we're talking about.
That's true. The Rangers player, by the way, who got hit in the face with a puck, back on the ice, full cage.
Bubble.
Full cage.
It's Eric Gustafson.
Eric Gustafson, thank you. I wonder what the Lightning's record is in Madison Square Garden, because I feel like it's not good.
That's a great question, Jake. Let me go search that up.
I kind of don't want to know.
Honestly, you might be right. They gotta still a full period hockey, plenty of time, power play for the Lightning. Make sure you specifically say that. It would be huge for them right now.
That fishbowl looks pretty good. Gotta love hockey players just getting patched up, coming back out.
All right, Jake, you ready?
No.
So in 54 games at Madison Square Garden, we are 24, 26, 2-2.
Oh.
We have just wait. We've scored 148 goals. We have allowed 178 goals.
Wow.
That is.
Differential. But interestingly, the record is not as bad.
That is as far as away arenas go, the fifth most away or goals against for any road arena.
Is somebody else going to need a fishbowl?
Oh, somebody else get hit.
Did he get hit? He got hit in it?
I think so.
Oh,
I mean,
he hit in the.
It hit the bowl, yeah.
He's pointing at him too.
That's great. I just realized I'm wearing my Life is Good Lightning Optimist hoodie. It's a good hoodie for have on right now for the positive vibes. Get the Lightning back in this game. The one thing they can't do right now is let this game get down to 10 minutes and still be down 2-0. I think they need a quick goal here.
So if they get scored against one more time, if it's a 3-0 lead, that could also It'd be perfect for continuing our win streak of 6-3 games. We just have to score 6 goals in this third period.
That's very true. I like the idea better of us scoring 6 first and then the Rangers get one back late.
I like that a lot better too.
Although going down 3-0 and coming back against the Rangers would be pretty funny.
Oh, good.
The Lightning have had their chances in this game. I don't think, shots are 10-7. Wow, 10-17. That's crazy. I mean, that's low for both teams, honestly. But, I think both teams have had chances here. Obviously, the Rangers have capitalized on 2 of theirs.
But I can't remember the last time we've had just sustained pressure, full pressure in the offensive
Since that Sergachev
zone.
injury.
Yeah, I mean, there's been good chances off the rush and maybe a little bit of cycling here and there, but there's just been no pressure. It seems.
How can we not get a puck past 45-year-old arthritic Jonathan Quick?
Hey, credit to Quick, man. He has been playing well this year. This guy's
I'll tell you. Look, they got 10 shots.
Yeah. Well, his entire career, Jonathan Quick, has just been being good for 1 month of the year. Usually that month is April. This year, he's good in like every month he's played in.
No, Jonathan Quick is a good goalie, man. He's not. He catches fire at the right times. he catches fire at the right times, but he took a page out of the Pecorine school of goaling, where you're fantastic one year and you're unusable the next year, and it's a perfect on off. This is his on year.
I remember there were rumors about Quick coming to the Lightning. I don't think they were actually real, had any traction, but I remember people talking about Quick coming to the Lightning. Could you imagine a Quick and Vasilevsky duo?
I feel like I know what you're talking about. I can't pull up any sources to it, but maybe it was you just pushing this agenda.
No.
How good would it be if Jonathan Quick came during?
It was a real thing. I promise you. By the way, Daniel said a $5 bet on Hard Rock bet wins you. What was it? You're gonna have to pull it back up. $45 right now. Let's see, $5 bet.
That's pretty good. I mean, I don't think you're going to find better odds for a game that's this close. It's very. Oh no!
Are we getting a power play here? Someone just got high sticked in the face.
Did you get high stick, or was that a puck?
Maybe might be right. I saw somebody go right to their face, and I immediately assumed a high stick, but it doesn't look like there's a penalty coming. I wanted my power.
I don't have the audio up either.
Well, right now they're just zoomed in on Shesterkin right now, so that's really helpful. Thanks, TNT.
Backup goalie Igor Shesterkin. Supposedly better than Andre Vasilevsky, Igor Shesterkin. Sorry, I need to get that out there.
Michael's not happy that we're down 2-0. All right, so it's not a power play. I was wrong there. I'm not sure. It must have been a puck.
Well, you sent me a thing yesterday from Sirius XM NHL, so I'm not just looking at a fan thing.
Safe.
And they said game 1 of the playoffs, who should start between Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick? That is an insane statement.
It is. And we joked about it, I think, at the start of the podcast too, or start of the live stream, I should say. It's crazy to think that, last year, talking about Shesterkin being the best goaltender in the world, and now there's questions about him starting. It's interesting. They say Shesterkin's the guy, but we'll see come playoff time.
I mean, one of them's been there, one of them hasn't.
Follow Michael Wax at BoltReport_TB. Yes, Michael's covering the game for us on Bolt Report, so if you want to follow along with his commentary at BoltReport_TB, you can check it out. We're approaching 3K over there too as well. And don't forget, while you're at it and over there giving Bolt Report a follow at RBLR Sports, at RBLR Lightning.
I'm begging to post a goal gif. Please let me post a goal gif.
We need one right now. And I remember I said earlier too, they need to score one before that 10-minute mark. Down at 14 minutes now. Where's our power play, man? Where's our power play?
Well, you got to get more sustained zone pressure. Put these
Yeah.
guys into a position where they're going to take a penalty.
That's a good point.
I mean, this is a good start to it right here. This sequence.
Hey, there we go. All right. On the board. We were just talking about it and the Lightning come through.
Oh,
There we go. That's the one you need. Now you get the momentum going, and we can get back and tie this game so Daniel can win his $5 bet that I know he placed on the Lightning to come back.
did somebody
It
say
was Hagel.
future
Hagel,
captain?
baby. All right.
Yeah, pushing my agenda of future captain Brandon Hagel.
Hey, man, Brandon Hagel. Listen, we joked about this many times on the podcast before, too. I remember when Brandon Hagel first came over, I said he was going to have a 30-goal year, and he did it. And then I tried to guess on Connor Sherry. I missed on that one. But Brandon Hagel, man, he's one of my favorite players on this team. So impressive. He's got great leadership. He's really fit in super well here. What a player, man.
What a pass by Chernak, too. Welcome back, Chernak.
Yeah. Nice play. He jumped up on that play early.
And Nikita Kucherov is now back in the scoring race.
Let's
ladies.
go.
Oh, did he get the secondary? Did he get an assist on that?
He brought the puck into the zone.
Hey, it's a point.
Power play merchant.
Yeah, you know,
Hey.
you know, and I saw a comment on this, Matt. I don't know if you saw this. I think it was Jay who said it. Jay, they were saying like, well, what? All of a sudden, the power play is not a part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, listen, I get what you're trying to say, but you still got to score. I don't care if you score 60 goals on the power play; it's still 60 goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Jake said that to me, and I kind of put my hands on my head. I was like, "No, that's not how that works."
Hey, man, a goal's a goal. I don't care if it's empty net goals. They're the same on the scoreboard. Even the greats got to score some empty netters every once in a while. Long goes in the back of the net, which when you know the one right here. I was hoping I was going to time that perfectly.
Hey, Dan, that bet's looking a little bit better now, isn't it? Talking about that $5 makes you 45.
Oh,
Joe, I don't know if you heard me. As soon as they scored, I said, all right, let's get the game going here now, so Dan can win his bet. And get his 45.
Yeah. Nice. I hope he placed it.
I apologize. I've been calling him Daniel the whole time. I think it's his name on YouTube.
Yeah.
This was from Diandra Liu, who did come on the Bolt Report Thunderstruck show. So a special guest. Hagel scored right as the announcers were talking about how the Lightning had hit a wall.
Of course. Good. Can they talk about it again?
Yeah.
So here comes Cooch.
Oh!
That
wow.
Unbelievable goal.
Oh,
on,
that's
quickie.
That would have been top 10 stuff right there.
I mean, he
Wow.
deep across was falling to the ice. I need a replay of that.
That was crazy. Somebody would still call him a power play merchant if he scored it.
Oh, man. Cooch.
My God, that was a sick move.
I bet we're going to get a replay. We better get a replay of that. No, we're going to show the goal instead.
How was that not a penalty?
There was a trip in there.
Did he get tripped or did he trip over his own feet? I'm not sure.
He might have just.
Kucherov, he could have tripped over his own feet.
I got to see a replay before I say anything. But, man, what a chance. All right, well, the Lightning have come alive ever since this goal. Like we said, right? Just needed one.
Specifically before the 10-minute mark.
And credit, Eric, I don't know if you can pull up old comments. I don't know who it was who came in here originally and said it was going to be a easy peasy comeback. They had the good vibes early.
It was on IG, right?
I believe it was on YouTube, actually.
Let's see.
Have you guys seen the old so Pierre Maguire?
Tippy, yes, Tippy. Shout out to Tippy. He had the good vibes early.
Shout out to. Have you guys seen the Pierre Maguire used to be a coach before he became a broadcaster. He's bad at both, but one of the things that he said was like, we're going into this third period, we're down 4-0. All we need is a goal every 5 minutes, and we'll come back in this game. And then they scored a goal, and he was like, "We're ahead of schedule."
Yeah.
And they scored another one. And he's like, "We're doing great," and then ended up losing like 4-2.
Well, good thing we don't have Pierre Maguire behind the bench.
Brian just left us a comment. Just tuned into the game. Anything yet on Sergey? Michael, I know you're following along closely on Twitter. I have not seen any updates. Anything on Twitter?
Out for the game. No medical updates after that.
Which won't be surprising. I don't think you'll get any official news on his long-term outlook until maybe a couple of days, because they're going to diagnose this injury and talk to the physicians and figure exactly what's going to happen. I don't know how long it'll take to get an official diagnosis, but
and you know how it
unlikely
goes.
to
They're not going to give you. They're not going to give you much unless they have to. That's just the nature of
right.
It's going to be out
of Coop in the organization.
Well, and that's why I brought up that interview with Tom Mullen, because he talked about that, diagnosing the injury and talking to the physician. Like, it's not just they can go back there and look at that. They go to the doctors, get their opinions, their team doctors, and they give their timetables and all that. And all that can change, obviously, too, with how hard players work, and it's different for every player. So there's a lot that goes into that. I doubt you'll hear anything soon. But as of right now, no official word, just out for the game.
Probably won't hear anything for a couple of days. There's a lot they need to take care of before any kind of announcement.
That's something interesting. That question's gonna get asked in the post game, but like at the same time, why even bother asking that question? Just because you have to.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to have an MRI. I mean, he's gonna have one regardless. So
that's it.
You don't like that tackle?
I didn't.
Thank you again to everybody who's tuning in and joining us here for this inaugural RBLR Lightning Watch Party. Let us know in the comments who you got scoring the game-tying goal for the Lightning.
Yeah, Brian, that's something that let Eureka put it up. I just saw it in chat.
Joe keeps talking to people. I'm like, who's Joe talking to? And I'm like,
I know.
He's got YouTube up.
Yeah, I've got the chat pulled up as well. Benefit of having multiple monitors, my friends.
Hey man, I got my one of my monitors taken up for the stream right now. But yeah, that's true.
What the other one's taken up.
Second monitors.
No
Always
way.
Nice.
No way. I mean, they can say that, but again, I'm talking to chat saying that it's TSN. It's being reported that TSN is saying it was a skate cut. You could see his ankle go awkwardly as hell into the boards and just kind of crumble. I don't believe that for a second.
I honestly don't either.
But Brian, what we were saying is, most likely going to be LTR. There it is with the way that thing looked. We were just kind of talking on here, basically praying it's if it's going to be bad, hopefully it's a broken bone and not a whole bunch of soft tissue damage. Because if it's a broken bone, it could be 8 to 12 weeks, and it might be something that he potentially could come back from. But either way, yeah, it's a lot of LTIR. We had a couple of other questions on here asking us, who the Lightning might be looking at, and that was before the injury. Now with the injury, for the trade deadline,
and there's a number of guys who can go out there. Changes. Sorry, Joe. There's a number of guys who can go out there and look at. Obviously, if Sergachev is going on LTIR, which a high likelihood he is, with that much more cap space, a lot of more options. Obviously, the ones before this injury were Chychrun and Sean Walker were the two that were rumored defenseman-wise. So, but I imagine that changes quickly with Sergachev's injury. So, but Lightning get one back on the board, and they've been playing a lot more in the offensive zone. Still haven't had that power play. Referees.
Interesting. Original 6 reffing,
To be fair, I don't think there's been a penalty. We never saw that replay of the Kucherov chance, which I cannot believe they haven't shown.
Yet. So you look at that. I have it right here. It's I can't put it on the screen, but he destroys whoever that defenseman is, makes him fall over. His legs trip Cooch.
So he was tripped.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I wish that had gone in so badly. Like, that would have been the goal of the year, no question.
Yeah.
That was such an
Definitely.
unbelievable.
Well,
play.
they wouldn't possibly give goal of the year to Kucherov. Like
No, actually.
they can't. They can't.
True.
So they probably would at least be a top 10, top 3. That was a nasty move, man.
He almost had it too. Just a little bit. If his arms were just a little bit longer, he could have had it.
His thing is doing that move coming into the zone, but it's more like his body's more rotated, like backwards, if that makes sense. Like because he puts the puck, he doesn't do the loop. He does like a like stick handling and then like pulling it quickly around instead of doing that big loop around the defenseman. That's something that you see in NHL 2K or NHL 24 or whatever it's called. But his assist on the point goal in Boston was very similar to that, except it was a pass and not a shot.
You just pass it to the back of the net.
Yeah, exactly. Need Connor Shear to pass one to the back of the net.
I mean,
Hey, he had a great pass on. I forget which rookie it was who his first goal.
Chafee.
Marilla.
Oh, it was
Yes.
Marilla.
My
It was
boy.
a beautiful pass.
Big Mirala guy. I don't think he'll see the roster for the rest of the season, but big Mirala guy.
It's honestly, it's pretty funny to me that I predicted Hagel's 30 goals, and then I went on Sherry's prediction. Like I got Hagel was great on that one, and then I just whiffed on Sherry's.
Yeah, I said 20 goals.
Yeah, he ran into an injury. To be fair,
Man,
though.
he was on pace before he got hurt.
yeah, I think he was on pace for like 18 or 19 right before he got hurt, which is right there. I mean, you could fluke in 3 goals, especially a player like him.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty decent, prediction because I didn't think he was going to be the 6-goal guy that everyone was kind of making him out to be.
Tell you what, I had no idea Jake Trouba was even playing this game.
He just came back from suspension, didn't he?
Yeah. I thought he was still suspended, which was why they were playing so good because he wasn't playing.
No, he just finished his suspension. This is his first game back.
And because nobody, has been elbowed quite yet.
Yeah, you're talking about Captain Headshot?
Yeah, Captain Elbows.
Captain Elbows. Nice move by Point to get into the zone there. Lost the puck, but no.
You got 9
They've
minutes.
definitely played better ever since the goal. Oh man, that power play would just, I feel like, be so huge if they could just get one. Look at Cooch just spinning around on the ice out there. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Every time I've complimented a player, they've lost the puck.
What a save.
Oh, here we go.
Uh,
ABB, man, poor guys. He almost had a breakaway there. That would have been huge for him.
That's on.
Oh, that's off. That's off.
Offsides.
That's
Don't
off.
care. Don't care.
Don't care.
I mean, they're going to keep
Review it.
playing
Let
it.
him play. All right, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That would have been the brutal time to score because that looked.
That would have been a
100%
horrible.
offsides.
Yeah, that would have been horrible. Like, get a goal and then it not count too, though.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man. Nobody skates like this, dude. You can always tell when Paul is coming down the ice just on his stride.
They're hustling, man. The Lightning they've had such a good third period, but
Get an ugly one.
right, doesn't
Jake-
matter how it goes in the back of the net.
Jake, you know how we've made it as a Twitter account?
What's that?
Interviewing Braden Coburn.
We're starting to get bots.
Thanks, Matt.
We're starting to get
That
bots.
was a good interview, guys.
Oh,
Good job on
Appreciate
that.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but I got through the first 10, 15 minutes or so. It was really good. Congratulations getting a name like that.
It was a lot of fun to have him on. He told some really cool stories. He's a great guy, and hopefully we can have more guys on like that in the future.
He looked like a really easy interview. Somebody that kind of, you set them up and they just take it, instead of having to drag answers out of them.
No, absolutely. He was a great guy, and he's He's been doing podcasts himself now on the Block Party. So he's kind of got that. He knows how it works and got that in him, which always makes it easier, obviously. But yeah, he was a great interview. Loved his stories about talking about the bubble and the Stanley Cup win. He joked too that because he lost to Chicago twice with Philly and Tampa, and we asked him about that. Like, what's the mindset going into the offseason? And he said he just hates Chicago, which I got a kick out of. I actually wanted to say to him, and I messed this up in the interview, but we'll give it. It's like an RBLR exclusive here. I wanted to tell him, because I don't know if you guys remember when the Lightning lost to the Blackhawks. I remember they put out an ad. Oh, here's that offsides play, by the way. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's close. I think
it's out, but that's close. No,
It's
there was
out.
some white there.
That angle looks out for sure.
That was
the
out.
first angle. I didn't know that I saw clear blue.
Well, they didn't even pause
Clear
it at
white.
the part that it was
Yeah,
out
they
the
didn't
most
pause
on
it
that
when it
first angle.
Yeah.
So anyway,
TNT.
going back to the Braden Coburn thing, I don't know if you guys remember when we lost to the Blackhawks. They put an ad in the newspaper. I forget the exact headline, but basically they said, "I don't feel bad, Tampa. You're getting a Portillo's," because Portillo's is from Chicago, and I have not forgiven Chicago for that ever since. I love Portillo's; it's a great restaurant, but I have something against Portillo's because they try. It's like a slap in the face. Like, oh, you lost. Here's a Portillo's for you. Hated that.
I didn't know they did that. It's funny 2 cups later, but I can understand.
Right. At the time. Honestly, I don't know if it was Chicago who put that in the newspaper or if it had to have been Chicago. I think it was. It was a long time ago, obviously, but yeah, wasn't happy about that. And my poor mom, who is from Chicago, she was so excited about the Portillo's coming, and I'm just sitting there, arms crossed, pissed off.
Shut up, Mom. It's like when Panarin was like yucking and jiving with Kucherov in the handshake line, and nobody wanted to see that.
Yeah.
And I mean, a year later, it's okay. Like, we won the cup. Next year, we won another one.
That is one of the most amazing things to me. Honestly, in all of sports, you got a team that breaks the NHL or ties the NHL record for most wins, which has never been done before. And then they come back and win 2 Stanley Cups. I want to get to this question. How early does Coop pull? I mean, you're only down by 1. I would imagine around the 2-minute mark, maybe, or
2,
a minute
3,
30.
Yeah.
Joe, I see a smile over and your smirk on your face. What are you doing over there?
I was
Nothing.
I was thinking right after this commercial break.
I got called up by Eureka.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just having some fun in chat. Sorry, guys. All right, so I said in chat, in terms of when does Coop pull, we're taking bets. I'm gonna throw it at a minute 47 because it is almost random with Coop. It really depends on what he's feeling in terms of line combinations and not the combination, but like who's been out there, who's coming up. So if Kucherov hasn't been out there, if the number 1 line hasn't been out there in a while, and now they're getting a big shift with like 3 minutes left, he'll pull right then when they've got legs. But so it's really just kind of a crapshoot. It's not like they look for exactly a minute 30, like you can see with some other coaches.
There's still a lot of hockey left
from you over there.
I saw we're on ESPN tomorrow.
Oh, we are.
A lot of national. Ooh,
God,
that's not a penalty. Get up, Hedman.
That's not offsides.
I can't stand the national teams. Give me Dave and Brian.
Yeah. I like TNT, but I don't have anything to watch TNT games. But yeah, 100% of the time, I'd rather, even though it is
Except for
Valley,
tonight,
I'd rather
of
have the
course,
local
you've got-
guys.
I was gonna say it's a perfect excuse to
Oh God,
fire up. I don't say her name out. Oh,
Listen.
that was a tricky shot to save. That was tricky.
Whew.
that's going to be an underrated save right there, and a huge one.
We're going to show this replay, but we're not going to show the Cooch replay. Oh man,
the
he
angle
almost went under his
Wow.
pad too. Wow.
Look at how much the angle changes with the way that he pulls this out.
That
No, we're
was
not going to show
that's
the
what they're gonna
replay, Joe.
show?
We're going to show Hedman falling on top of a guy.
That's pretty funny.
He ripped his helmet off.
Yeah, got lucky there, but
He's not happy about it.
The people that run production trucks for the NHL, I just want to give them like a shake. I mean, like, what do you think people should watch? Because it's
Just wanna
not
talk
what
to 'em.
people should actually be watching.
I am glad they showed that, though. That was kind of funny, not gonna lie. But yeah, I know what you mean, Michael. They show like when they show
breakaway.
yo,
on the Bally broadcast when they show the opposing team fans celebrating, it drives me nuts.
Hedman's been a bit of an instigator these last couple of weeks. He was getting into it with the Ducks player a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That incident right there. There was something else as well. I want to say maybe the Coyotes game, maybe.
He's a different player. Brian says, "Did anyone see that rumor about Maroon coming back?" Someone on X asked if someone on X that still is not getting used to that. If that's the only post I see. Are we getting a power play?
Was it on them?
I believe so.
Zabinajad got the hold?
I believe
Brian, I'll get
so.
to your question in just a second here.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Yep.
There we go. All right, we're
Yeah.
getting a power play. All right, Eureka, could you bring back up? Thank you. So Tampa retains salary on his trade, and you can't reacquire a player you retain salary on. Oh, interesting. And that's response to Brian, who was asking about Maroon. I did see that rumor, Brian, about Maroon. I didn't understand it because they just moved on from him. And listen, I love Maroon, but I don't think he's the right fit for this team right now. But a big power play here for the Lightning.
All right. Let's go. This is it.
This is the game.
Well, so, I mean, it's one way of looking at it. You know, do you think Coop pulls with the man advantage? I don't. Personally, I think you go this power play, and then you've got an additional opportunity to have essentially a man advantage.
It's
Don't
always
forget
dangerous.
they can shoot the puck all the way down every time.
Yeah.
Right. The Lightning power play too is 29.9%, first in the league, and they've been due. Hedman just rung one off the post with an absolute rocket. Wow.
You just let Hedman go straight down the slot and then rifle 97 mile an hour and just pray your goaltender saves it. That's not very good defense to start off this penalty kill for the Rangers.
Keep doing that.
I haven't been able to get anything quite set up yet.
I mean, they haven't really gotten anything quite set up this whole game, so hopefully this is start of a sequence maybe.
And I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I feel like over the last 10, the Lightning power play has not been what we've used to been seeing. They've struggled a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. And
I think they were struggling, and they picked it back up a bit, I'm pretty sure.
I think you might be right.
They're still first in the league.
Nagel dances through, but then gets his pocket picked.
No good, man. You got to get that entry. You got to get set up. This is such a tough team. I mean,
they're trying to play hero ball right now.
There we go. No. Pass didn't.
Interesting to get the second unit out already. Usually that first unit is out there for so long, and the second unit never gets that much time.
Because they need the empty net group to be ready.
Oh!
AVB with a great chance there.
Man, I hate how
they got some set up here, though.
I hate how Lightning power plays go twice as fast for only the Lightning.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? All right, well, that's the power.
It's the worst
play.
rule in the NHL.
234. Bass has got to be coming out of the net soon here.
Might be looking for a stoppage to get the first line back out. Maybe call a timeout or something.
The Lightning had 2 chances on that second unit, but that first unit never got to get set up, which is unfortunate because that's where they worked their magic on the power play.
Man, the Rangers are really fast to those half boards. They're so quick to them. Oh, that was a trip.
So interesting
Pull
comment.
right now. Pull right now, so I'm right.
They're
Not
waiting for
happening,
Stamkos
bud.
to get back out there.
Oh,
He's gonna go.
10 seconds? Are you serious? If they would have pulled when they were making the rush down the ice, I would have been dead on. And they probably would have still had possession.
Oh.
Ooh, good work by Cirelli to get that shot off. Now, again, you got to get something set up here. Haven't been able to do that. And these puck battles are the last thing you need.
Oh no!
That's gonna
Who
do
made
it.
the pinch?
Oh, man, that's
Who
unfortunate.
made that pinch? You kind of have to. You have to eliminate the guy to prevent him from going down the ice, and then it's your defensive partner's job to take care of anything else.
Jimmy Vesey has 2 goals in 1 game. What world do I live in?
Well, the Lightning,
Must have been a headman.
man, this is just such a bummer of a game. You lose Sergachev. They played good in the third period, but that one goal that they let up in the slot, I forget who scored it.
That hit the post?
No, that has to be wrong.
They hit a couple of posts.
No, Hedman's blast hit the post?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barclay Goodrow 2-assist game.
God, what world do I live in?
Oh, man, a tough one. So that'll
And
likely
Toronto's
do it.
going to win
Oh, great.
5-3 against Dallas. So, wild card spot it is for today.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, this is a tough game to
Super tough.
to cover, to lose and to get on this live and talk about, but
Damn.
still another good chance. I mean, it's not the end of the world for the guys. Sucks for Sergachev. Like that's going to be rough.
Nice, Radish.
I mean, they got to answer tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Got to win tomorrow. But honestly, results sucks, and again, this comes down. I don't think the Lightning necessarily play. They scored right at the end. I don't know if it got in time. It doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't in time.
Damn it.
Hey, thanks to all the guys that jumped on this live viewing with us. Definitely appreciate everything in chat and everyone being around and keeping it active and fun. It's a cool thing to do. I look forward to doing our next one again.
Absolutely. So you said it, Joe. Huge thank you to everybody who joined us and for this first ever live stream. Don't forget, like and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. Give us a follow at RBR Lightning, at RBLR Sports. We had an absolute blast today, and thank you everybody for commenting and throwing questions our way. Before we end things here, Guy, officially, let's give maybe a couple of thoughts on the overall game. I thought the Lightning played well, all things considered. Tough loss with Sergachev. You kind of had a bad second period, but it wasn't a blowout. Let's put it that way. I thought they had their chances. They got a couple of goals, but that one goal that the 2-0 goal was ultimately one of the biggest daggers right there.
Bro, this game just opened a whole world of questions. Is what just happened. Results be damned that they played decently well considering, but it just opened a whole world of questions well beyond what we just saw in this last 60 minutes of ice time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too fresh.
Next podcast is going to be interesting.
It's too fresh for me to make an unbiased opinion on this game. I think everything was against us.
Trying to play top 4 minutes did not go very well the last time Sergachev was hurt, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
And that's what I was saying to, like, the Lightning down Sergachev in this game, which is so tough. And then they are coming off a long rest. The Rangers they'd have a little more rust off of them because they played earlier after the All-Star break. So it's a tough game. And listen, I don't want to give out excuses for the Lightning. I mean, you want to win these games, but it wasn't like they played awful. I thought they played decent hockey. Hopefully they can rebound in a big way tomorrow, though, and get right back on their winning streak. or not winning streak, but start a new one and continue their winning ways that they've had recently, ever since before the All-Star break. Brian says, thank you guys. Keep these going. Absolutely. Brian, appreciate you joining in and throwing comments our way. So guys, any other final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
Better luck next time.
Well, we're gonna definitely have to do another one because we don't want the RBLR watch party to be 0-1 when we're watching games. So we got to get a 1 in for a win so we can even out that record. All right, guys, that's good for us today. Don't forget to follow at RBLR Sports, at RBLR Lightning, so you can check out those other podcasts too that we've got for the Rays, the Bucks, the Rowdies. Everybody does a fantastic job over here as well. And then don't forget to like and subscribe right here on YouTube so you don't miss out on future episodes. And we'll see you guys next time. Go Bolts!
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.